Chapter 440. I'll still hit you even if you're from the Sima family. Chapter 440. I'll still hit you even if you're from the Sima family. The servant-looking man measured Qin Feng from his top to his toes. Qin Feng's strange wolf mask prevented the servant from seeing his real appearance, so the servant-looking man could not certain was Qin Feng someone of a higher class than him from his outfit. Are you stupid? Not only is the smithy and martial artist town of Jindu owned by the Sima family, every smithy and martial artist town of every branch belongs to the Sima family. Let me put it in a more simpler way. It is a time-honored chain of blacksmiths shops that covers the whole nation and owned by the Sima family. Did I make it clear enough for you now? The servant-looking man purposely bloated the great history of the blacksmith's shops, hoping to dwarf Qin Feng's spirit. He wanted to shoo Qin Feng away without making much of a scene. Qin Feng scoffed. This means that the Sima family across China should be branches of the Sima family in Jindu, right? Qin Feng's sarcastic remark did not reach the servant-looking man. He was heaved with joy and stared at Qin Feng. So you're not that ignorant after all. In China, as long as the family carries the name Sima, they are considered as the forces under the Sima family of Jindu. So, do you know how powerful the Sima family is and how meaningful this smithy is now, brat? The Sima family was one of the 4 largest familial clans of Jindu. Immensely powerful with a wide and well-established network, the Sima family was a strong force that could not be ignored or provoked in Jindu. The servant-looking man had gained some spirit after he explained the full history of the Sima family. His gaze once again fell on Lu Jie, who was staring at him with his tightly clenched fist, and yelled, "Fuck you! Stop staring at me, you disgusting, fat pig! Do you believe that I'll hit you?" Shaking his head, Qin Feng cut Lu Jie short and smiled. "I don't believe that." "Huh, you don't believe me? Then, I'll prove it to you." Slap. The servant-looking man had just finished talking and a crisp, slapping sound echoed. The sound didn't come from the man slapping Lu Jie. The sound came from Qin Feng slapping the servant-looking man. Qin Feng had slapped the servant with 150 kilograms strength, and he almost beheaded the servant. Half of the servant's face swelled up like an inflating ball. "Fuck. You've really done it this time. I swear I'll kill you." The servant-looking man was dazed for a good 10 minutes before he found his senses. He never expected that Qin Feng would really slap him. Yelling and roaring, he threw himself at Qin Feng. As Qin Feng was about to slap him again, the man dressed in the white tang costume, who remained silent throughout the fight, finally opened his mouth. "Stand down, Wang Er." Wang Er was the servant-looking man's name. He hastily stopped his attack as soon as the man ordered him. "Prince Yang," Wang Er cried to Prince Yang while holding a heavy-hearted expression, "this brat is hindering our shop's daily operation. You must do justice to me." Sima Yang totally ignored Wang Er and glued his gaze to Qin Feng. He studied Qin Feng meticulously with his dark and sharp eyes, seemingly wanting to see through to the face behind Qin Feng's wolf mask. "What is the reason you hit my servant here?" Sima Yang disappeared and reappeared in front of Qin Feng. He wore a white tang costume, had a handsome face, a pair of brooding eyes, and an imposing manner. He resembled Sima Tuesday. Isn't it obvious? Why did you ask a stupid question like that? Are you stupid? Qin Feng berated Sima Yang indifferently. 3 months ago, loads of martial artists from every corner of China made their way into Acropolis City to pursue Qin Feng. Qin Feng had lost count of how many martial artists he had engaged in one night. This incident was caused by Sima Tu, Qin Yi, and Li Xiaojie. They were the one who spread the news of Qin Feng possessing numerous pieces of high-grade spiritual equipment and skill books to the martial world, and caused the martial artists to launch a crusade against Qin Feng to get his spiritual equipment. Following this, Qin Feng developed a vendetta against the Sima and Li families. He would never sit idly since the smithy was the Sima family's properties and their servant, Wang Er, had insulted Lu Jie. A flick of murderous intent crossed Sima Yang's calm face. The wolf-masked man in front of him was too arrogant. Sima Yang never thought that he would be completely unafraid of the Sima family to make such a brazen remark. It's been 100 years since someone had the nerve to throw a tantrum in a Sima family's blacksmith store. I suppose that you should be around my ages given your voice. TSK. What an unruly lad who has no idea the immensity of heaven and earth. Suddenly, Sima Yang paused as his eyes smoldered with fervent murderous intent. He said in an icy tone, "Very well then, I shall grant you your death." Sima Yang drew his weapon as soon as he finished speaking. A pair of azure blades flickered and slashed towards Qin Feng's neck. He was aiming for Qin Feng's life. Rumble. Two blades of flames gushed appeared as the blades approached Qin Feng's neck. Then, the flames exploded and instantly set Qin Feng's head ablaze. "Big brother!" Lu Jie yelled in anguish when he saw Qin Feng's head on fire. He panicked, and he swung his fist at Sima Yang. Sima Yang made light of Lu Jie's attack and did not even bother to dodge it. When Lu Jie stepped into his attack zone, he immediately kicked Lu Jie and sent him flying. Bang! Concurrently, a tempestuous wind blew towards him and his triumphant expression froze. Thump! Before he could regain his senses to parry the attack, a left hook with tremendous strength slammed into his face and sent him crashing into the ground outside the shop, stunning both Wang Er and Lu Jie. "Big brother, are you all right?" Lu Jie spat 2 mouthfuls of blood, suppressed the intense pain in his body, and looked fervently at Qin Feng. He saw that Qin Feng's head was engulfed by a ball of fire, and he thought his big brother was surely dead. Little did he expect that his big brother would appear unscathed and be able to repay Sima Yang with a punch. Qin Feng's attack raised a storm in Sima Yang's stomach. He forcibly pushed down the urge to vomit the blood that was stuck in his throat and stared at Qin Feng with reddened eyes. "How is that possible? Who are you?" "It's not important who I am. The thing is that you attacked my brother, and I must pay you back." Qin Feng replied to Sima Yang with a firm gaze. His heroic remark and actions moved Lu Jie to tears. "I dare you to show yourself. Since you have the nerve to wreak havoc in our smithy, don't hide your face under a mask. Weren't you acting arrogantly just now? Remove your mask then, and let me see the faces hiding under the mask." Sima Yang had forgotten how long it had been since he was beaten by somebody. He had never been bullied by anyone. After all, having the powerful Sima family backing him, who the hell still had the guts to offend him? Qin Feng looked at Sima Yang as if he was looking at a fool. He knew that Sima Yang was trying to goad him into removing his mask by taunting and implying that he was a gutless pussy. Qin Feng was not so stupid to fall for his trap. It was part of his plan to beat up Sima Yang and obliterate him at every possible opportunity to get revenge against him. Qin Feng recognized the blades the moment Sima Yang pulled them out. The blades went by the name Mollis Azure Wing Blades, a blue-grade spiritual equipment previously wielded by Sima Tuesday. Qin Feng had a good taste of them during the basketball ma against Sima Tu in Acropolis City Normal University, so he had a very deep impression of the Mollis Azure Wing Blades. The blades glowed in blue, and their bodies were forged from the wings of an azure wing bird, hence the name Mollis Azure Wing Blades. They were extremely sharp and could effortlessly slice through metal like mud. Like the sacred azure battle armor, the Mollis Azure Wing Blades had a hidden skill as well. They could create fire when attacking. Qin Feng knew exactly what the Mollis Azure Wing Blades could do, hence he was prepared. When flame rose, Qin Feng had deployed the sacred azure battle armor and effortlessly warded off the fire ambush. Sima Yang's attack might have been fearsome from others' perspective, but it was nothing but mere child's play in Qin Feng's eyes. "Big brother, let's ignore him and leave now." Lu Jie dragged his body to Qin Feng's side and suggested him. He didn't want Qin Feng to remove his mask either, because he knew that once Sima Yang knew it was Qin Feng behind the mask, Sima Yang would certainly mobilize every force the Sima family controlled to hunt Qin Feng down. Want to leave after beating up our people? Not so fast." Seeing that Qin Feng and Lu Jie were prepared to leave, Sima Yang tensed up as he still had not gotten his revenge for Qin Feng punching him. "Big brother, let's ignore him. Hurry up and let's leave." Lu Jie had calmed down. He knew the Sima family wasn't something Qin Feng or he could contend with. The main reason that drove Qin Feng to go berserk was him, so Lu Jie wanted to take Qin Feng away as he did not want Qin Feng to get into any trouble. "Stay. Room." The sharp and ear-deafening buzzing of a sword echoed. With the blades in his hands, Sima Yang darted at Qin Feng and Lu Jie. He closed in fast. While he was on the way, he brandished the blades in his hand with extreme mastery and drew a deluge of blue lights in the air. Hong, hong, hong. Qin Feng put on his winter iron glove and sent a dozen of fist energies into the air. The massive fist energies tore the air open and collided with the blue blades of wind, causing waves of explosions. Da, da, da. The inner chi released by both sides swirled around them, pushing the air and forming a dome of strong wind as a barrier. Qin Feng quickly pulled Lu Jie backward as Sima Yang drew back. Neither of them tried to breach the dense mist of inner chi. Big brother, don't fight with him anymore. Let's leave now. Lu Jie pulled Qin Feng outside the shop, planning to retreat, when Wang Er rushed forward with malice written all over his face and blocked Qin Feng and Lu Jie's soul escape route. Sima Yang and Wang Er commenced a simultaneous frontal and rear attack. Qin Feng pushed Lu Jie away and looked at Sima Yang icily. Since you have a death wish, this young master should show you mercy and grant your wish. They were in martial artist town. Even though Qin Feng loathed the Sima family from the bottom of his heart, he did not plan to kill any of them here today. However, over and over again Sima Yang barred his way, and Qin Feng was furious. Big brother, it's not the time to play right now. Let's leave. Lu Jie rushed forward to drag Qin Feng away again, but before he could reach Qin Feng sent a palm at him and pushed him away. The palm strike was harmless but filled with tremendous inner chi. The strike sent Lu Jie's stout body backward, and within the time of a few breaths, he was out of the battle zone. Go ahead of me. Qin Feng's voice was cold, and his order was absolute. No, big brother, I'm not going anywhere. If we're fighting, then let me fight with you. Let's kill these fucking bastards together. Lu Jie's eyes went bloodshot as he yelled. He acted like an enraged bull, and without waiting for Qin Feng's order, Lu Jie raised his big fists and swung them at Sima Yang. Chapter 441, Bow Down Before the Dragon Door. Chapter 441, Bow Down Before the Dragon Door. Shroom, shroom, shroom. As Lu Jie arrived beside Sima Yang, the sound of blades cutting through the wind echoed through the air above them. Qin Feng's heart raced. He yelled at Lu Jie, "Get down." Lu Jie sensed the deadly aura swarming behind him and quickly recoiled. Clank, clank, clank. As he moved 3 steps back, 3 flying knives landed in the ground in front of Lu Jie, buried to the hilt around which a red ribbon was wrapped. The red ribbons waved in the air. Phew, what strong inner chi. Lu Jie's face was clouded with amazement. If he had moved any slower, the 3 flying knives would have punctured his body. The first rule of martial artist town: every resident must coexist peacefully and not cause any trouble for anybody. Can any one of you tell me what you guys are doing now? The sonorous female voice resonated as Yin Wu Shuang appeared in between Qin Feng and Sima Yang. Yin Wu Shuang wore a tight-fitting leather shirt and pants that clung to her curvaceous figure. Her breasts were not overly large, but the shape of them was captivating. Coupled with her purplish bob haircut, she would be the center of attention anywhere she went. After seeing that the intruder was Yin Wu Shuang, Sima Yang dropped his pride, plastered a placating smile on, and went forward to welcome her. Oh, Miss Wu Shuang is here. I apologize for my impoliteness. Yin Wu Shuang ignored Sima Yang and concentrated on Qin Feng's wolf mask. Prince Yang, as a cooperation partner of martial artist town, the Sima family should take the lead and abide by the rules. Your actions have disappointed us, the Dragon Door, very much. Sima Yang's expression changed slightly. Even though Yin Wu Shuang wasn't a descendant of a great family, she was a member of the Dragon Door, so toying with her wasn't a task Sima Yang easily welcomed. China had 3 doors and 5 sections. The Dragon Door was one of the doors, and it was a mysterious organization supported by the government, so even the higher-ups of Martial Artist Alliance had to give face to the Dragon Door, not to mention Sima Yang. Miss Wu Shuang is right, but we are not the ones to be blamed. It was them who created trouble first. They pushed us over the edge, which left me and my servant with no alternatives but to defend ourselves. Seeing Sima Yang had passed the buck to him and Qin Feng, Lu Jie's face darkened. Lu Jie remained silent and did not speak for himself, although Sima Yang's despicable action ticked him off. The family behind Lu Jie was merely one of the 5 small familial clans in Jindu, and it was nothing compared to the mysterious Dragon Door. The Dragon Door could easily erase the existence of his family from the face of the earth with only a flip of their hand. Green Wolf, is that true? Yin Wu Shuang shot a fervent gaze at Qin Feng's wolf mask, seemingly wanted to see through the face hiding behind the mask. Since Qin Feng completed the mission released by her on behalf of the Dragon Door, so Yin Wu Shuang knew his alias was Green Wolf. What he said isn't true. In fact, it's the reverse situation. Qin Feng brushed off Sima Yang's accusation indifferently. It was the Sima family servant who looked down on my brother and attacked us first. My brother and I are the victims. We had to return the blows to defend ourselves. Sima Yang stunned when Yin Wu Shuang addressed Qin Feng by his alias. He never expected that Yin Wu Shuang knew Qin Feng. Ahem, Ms. Wu Shuang, this is just a misunderstanding. Why don't we just leave it at that? Sima Yang had lost his confidence. Initially, he planned to detain Qin Feng and Lu Jie, but now, he only wished that the Dragon Door would not target the Sima family. Is this your final decision, Prince Yang? Yin Wu Shuang smiled lightly at Sima Yang. I apologize for troubling you, Ms. Wu Shuang. If you have some time on you, let's have a seat inside the shop. If you have your eyes set on any weapons in our shop, I'll gift it to Ms. Wu Shuang as a present on behalf of the Sima family. Thank you for your offer, but I'm good. I still have an important task to tend to. I shall take my leave first. After she did her job, Yin Wu Shuang prepared to leave. Like a soaring swallow, Yin Wu Shuang's elegant figure disappeared from everybody's sight in a few light hops. Sima Yang's face instantly turned vile as soon as Yin Wu Shuang left. He shot a few fiendish glares at Qin Feng and Lu Jie. Pray to God that you two will never encounter me outside town, brats, or else I'll kill you both the moment I see you. Sima Yang fluttered his sleeve in a huff and stormed into the smithy. Likewise, Wang Er glared at Qin Feng and Lu Jie before following Sima Yang back into the smithy. Phew! Lu Jie heaved a long sigh of relief as he never thought the incident would end so smoothly. I'm so scared. Big brother, let's leave now. The Sima family is not to be trifled with. Qin Feng tilted his head up and looked at the signage hanging outside the shop. His eyes glistened with intense light. Jindu University Medical College, Lecture Hall. The bell rang signifying Qin Feng's first class had started as soon as Qin Feng and Lu Jie arrived at the lecture hall. Qin Feng marched into the lecture hall bold as brass. He stood with his hands clasped behind his back in the best spot behind the podium where the sunlight fell. The lecture hall was still packed with loads of students. There were at least 200 students. Some of them shared their seats with one of their friends, while the rest who failed to themselves a seat stand in the aisles on both sides of the lecture hall. Handsome Professor Qin Feng, what are you going to teach us today? I've not made up my mind yet. Feng, I wore no brasserie underneath today. Can you teach me some massage skill and help me massage my boobs? Vulgar. Come to my office after the class is dismissed. Handsome and stylish Professor Qin Feng, can I pay a visit to your office too after the class dismissed? You fucking gay. Get out from my class. Before he began his lecture every day, Qin Feng devoted 5 minutes to interact with his students and to invigorate their spirits. The students knew his style very well, so they cracked a few jokes with him as well. The atmosphere was as lively as New Year's. Seeing that it was almost time to begin his class, Qin Feng gestured with his hands, and the students instantly fell silent. Their reactions amused Qin Feng very much. He posed in a handsome and confident stance and spoke brazenly, "Dear students, I've decided that since you all love my acupuncture class very much, then in this lesson, I'll teach you all how to manipulate a needle." Rumble. The lecture hall exploded as soon as Qin Feng finished speaking. All of the students yelled and screamed frantically in excitement. It was more intense than a superstar concert. When Professor Ling Qingyuan led a team for an inspection into their class during their previous class, He had a heart seizure and he lost his consciousness. Qin Feng saved him on the spot with only his acupuncture technique, which sowed the seed of interest to learn Chinese medicine in the heart of his students. So how could the students not get excited when Professor Qin Feng finally wanted to teach them the acupuncture technique? A live specimen is essential in this lesson. You have to practice how to manipulate the needles on a living person. I guess I'll just pick a training dummy among you for this training module. Is that fine for you all? Yes, pick me. The students were delighted. However, in the next second, everybody fell silent. They felt something was wrong as the same thought was popped up in every student's mind. What if Professor Qin Feng picks me as the training dummy? No, don't pick me. The 200 or so students shook their heads like there was no tomorrow and forewent their desire to go up to the podium. Ah, Mr. Lu Jie came to class after me, so he is late to class. Then, let us invite Mr. Lu Jie to come upon the podium to be our training dummy. Is that okay? Qin Feng gave a fake smile while looking at his students. Lu Jie's face darkened. When he heard the uproarious cheers and applause, his face turned white in anger again. Okay, let's welcome Mr. Lu Jie to come on the podium then. All of the students focused their gaze on Lu Jie and looked forward to him to go on stage. Their reactions ticked Lu Jie off, and he felt ashamed and helpless for having these kinds of friends and classmates. Professor Qin Feng, I have a recording that I want to play for everybody. Lu Jie pulled out his cell phone and provoked Qin Feng. It's about the story in Ghost Mountain. After I finish playing the recording, I'll go to the podium. A flick of anger flashed through Qin Feng's eyes before he turned his expression into a smiley expression. Haha, please sit down, Mr. Lu Jie. How is that possible? I'd use my students as training dummy. The purpose of saying that is to test your sense of community and solidarity. AI, you all have disappointed me so much. Lu Jie returned to his seat and was pleased. Qin Feng rested his arms on the table, shook his head, and sighed. Master, can you stop acting? You're nauseating me. Little Pig grumbled in Qin Feng's mind. Even the pig could not stand Qin Feng anymore. A wicked idea crossed Qin Feng's mind. His mouth twisted into a sly grin as he said, Haha, actually, I found training dummy for everybody, but this training dummy is a piglet. Let's test out our acupuncture technique on him. As Qin Feng spoke, a pinkish piglet appeared on the podium. Qin Feng gleefully looked at Little Pig, while Little Pig was so angry that his fur exploded. Master, you're so shameless. How can you release me in the public? Hurry up and let me go back into the system. Little Pig chided. Qin Feng ignored him and threw him on the table in the first row. The piglet is so adorable. His fur is pink. His eyes are so big and bright. His nostrils look sexy, and his hooves look so tiny and cute. He's even got a bow tie on his neck. I love this piglet so much. Professor Feng Feng, can you give this piglet to me? As a payment, I'll help you to warm your bed tonight. You women can't even let go of a male piglet? Hurry up and let him go. I'll handle him. Little Pig had never witnessed this kind of situation before. He kept running on his 4 hooves on the table. Due to his petite size and agile movements, everybody chased him around, but nobody could see him. Shroom. Little Pig hopped into Qiao Shirshir's arms and looked up at Qiao Shirshir with his large eyes looking so pitiable as if he had found his mother. Qiao Shirshir hugged Little Pig, pet him with her lily-white hands, and calmed Little Pig down. He enjoyed it and snuggled his head into Qiao Shirshir's breasts. Little Pig, come back here. You're so shameless. Qin Feng communicated with Little Pig through telepathy. Don't be scared, Little Pig. Nobody is going to hurt you. It wasn't Little Pig replied to Qin Feng. It was Qiao Shirshir's voice. Qin Feng was stunned. This was because he saw it with his own eyes that Qiao Shirshir had not opened her mouth at all. Her voice transmitted to his mind through telepathy. Chapter 442. Hooking up with a woman requires deep knowledge. Chapter 442. Hooking up with a woman requires deep knowledge. What's going on, Little Pig? Qin Feng asked Little Pig in shock. Don't expect me to tell you the truth after putting me through all this, master. Little Pig brushed off Qin Feng's question with a dismissive while tilting his head high and looked delightedly at Qin Feng. What I can tell you is that Xiao Shi is special. Figure out the rest yourself. While Qin Feng was communicating telepathically with Little Pig, he tried to see Xiao Shi's voice. However, he could not sense the telepathy anymore, and everything that happened was like an illusion to him. Xiao Shi protected Little Pig in her arm and kept the other students from harming him. Those students stopped too. Not only was Xiao Shi the belle of the medical college, she was also one of the goddesses of Jindu University, and many of them were her fans. Professor Qin Feng, if we're practicing acupuncture, I bet practicing on a living human will make us understand more about acupuncture, don't you think? After all, Little Pig is a pig, an animal. If you use Little Pig as our training dummy, won't it make the rest of us become a veterinarian instead? Xiao Shi said with an emotionless expression. This was the first time Xiao Shi cracked a joke, and she had the students in hysterics. The classroom was filled with laughter, and unnoticed by them, 3 weirdos with colored hair and strange outfits had climbed up to the podium. In an instant, 2 of the 3 grabbed Qin Feng by his arms and pressed him to the table while the last man with a stud earring pulled out a knife and put it against Qin Feng's neck. Their ambush came too suddenly. So sudden, in fact, that the students could not regain their senses and continued to discuss Little Pig and Xiao Shi even after they saw Qin Feng was taken hostage. The tumult began to recede slowly, and finally, the class fell into a pool of dead silence such that the sound of a needle dropped to the floor could be heard clearly. Hey, who are you people? You are not even one of us. How dare you bully our Professor Qin Feng? Get the fuck out of our class now. Facing 200 or so glaring gazes, the man with the earring was not affected and offered a sardonic smile on his face. Qin Feng knew this fellow. He was the hoodlum Fang Ming summoned last time to pick a fight with him. This man led his group of hoodlums and blocked Qin Feng after school. At the same time, Gao Tianyao led his own group to get him as well. In the end, Qin Feng tricked them into fighting each other while he himself escaped. This time, the trio had been summoned by Fang Ming as well, and their sole objective was to disgrace Qin Feng in front of his own students. Fucking stop blabbering and keep quiet, or I'll stab this fellow to death. The man made his living wandering the underworld for a long time. Of course, he would not be taken aback by a bunch of untested university students. He did not move the knife away from Qin Feng's neck, chewed his bubble gum, and seemed to be someone who needed a good beating. Qin Feng had spotted them in the crowd the moment he entered the class. The reason he did not bust their disguises was that he wanted to see what kind of trick Fang Ming was pulling again. Hold your horses, everybody. He has a knife. He might injure you guys. But they want to hurt you, Professor Qin Feng. His students were worried about him. As a noble-hearted lecturer with huge ambition, it's fine if I'm injured as long as I can keep you all safe, even if they want my life. Jesus Christ. The 2 guys who held him down could not restrain themselves and grumbled, cutting Qin Feng off. Give me a break. Big brother, this fellow is even more pretentious than you. The students were all utterly shattered into tears after they heard Qin Feng's remark, while Hua Yin, on the other hand, tensed her lips and squinted. She knew Qin Feng too well and felt that he was being hypocritical now. Stop bragging, you stupid fool. I'm here today to ask you something. The man with the earring waved his pocket knife in front of Qin Feng's eyes and thought he was cool. Rumor has it that you've fallen out with a student in this class. Is that true? The man with the earring was here for a purpose, and Fang Ming had briefed him about his revenge plan. Fang Ming wanted him and his 2 minions subjugate Qin Feng in the class, threaten him, and make him lose his face in front of his student. He wanted him forever gone from the medical college. If Qin Feng ever did totally disappear from the medical college, then the medical college would return to him, and he could rule over them. You're so cocky, brat. I'm going to show you the consequences of offending one of the young masters of this university. The man's gaze darted across the crowd of students and stopped at Xiao Shi. When he saw Xiao Shi's otherworldly delicate face and sensed her elegant aura, a wicked idea crossed his brain as his eyes glowed brightly. Diske. That girl holding the pig is such a fine beauty, I want to have a good taste of her right now. But, hey, brat, didn't you say that you're a lecturer of high character, and you're always prepared to sacrifice yourself to protect your students? Well then, I'll give you a choice. I either stab you to death, or I release you and I get onto that woman. Pick one. Fang Ming did not know Qin Feng very well. Had he knew how strong Qin Feng was, he would not propose the plan. Fang Ming thought Qin Feng would reveal his true self in the face of life or death by shedding his disguise and desert all the morality and professional ethics he purported to have. The class was silent, directing their gazes at Qin Feng. All of the students waited anxiously for Qin Feng's answer. Fuck. I've learned 4 books and 5 classics since I was young. Qin Feng began to make his own show again. I was graced with superior memory and a handsome face. I maintained a low profile wherever and whenever, yet I always unconsciously ended up being the center of attraction. It's once in 100 years that such an extraordinary prodigy like me appears, so my life is very valuable. However, none of this matters in the face of the safety of my students. Bring it on. Stab me with your knife. I'm not afraid of death at all. After another 18 years, I'll be still a hero. I'll still be your lecturer and teach you all the profoundness of Chinese medicine. The lecture hall was filled with whimper and sobbing voices from the crowd of students and the heavy huffing from the 2 fatties behind Qin Feng. Don't hold me back. Big brother, give me the knife, and I'll going to kill this fellow right here, right now. I cannot stand a fellow who is more narcissistic than me. The man with the earring ear stud man slapped the yellow-haired minion's head. Shut up. He glared furiously at Qin Feng. The course of events was not the same as what they had planned. This fellow should have picked his own life instead. I'm giving you the last chance, brat. Think twice before answering me. You want your life, or you want to protect that girl's chastity? The man with the earring pressed the pocket knife hard on Qin Feng's neck as if he would stab him in the neck at any moment. All of the students were taken aback, and this scene had robbed them of their ability to speak. Bang, bang, bang. Suddenly, 3 muffled bangs sounded out. Unknown to them, Lu Jie had already snuck up to the podium and slapped the man with the earring and his 2 minions down the podium before Qin Feng could answer. What are you doing, big brother? These 3 scumbags should be a piece of cake for you. Lu Jie gave Qin Feng a gleeful smile and waited for Qin Feng to praise him. Anger quickly escalated within Qin Feng as his expression darkened. He slapped Lu Jie's head, pulled him toward himself, and murmured to him, "Can't you see that I'm putting up a scene trying to impress somebody? Didn't you ask me to teach you how to hook up with women when we were in martial artist town? I'm showing you right now, but you've ruined the show, you dumbass." The reason Qin Feng played along with the man and his 2 minions was that he was trying to impress Qiao Shi. Qin Feng had took a fancy to Qiao Shi, but she was too cold and always treated everybody around her neither cold nor hot. Now his chance had finally come, and he was certain that he could win her heart this time. He hadn't expected that his show would be ruined by Lu Jie before it reached the climax. What are you saying? Please don't be angry with me. I was just worried about your safety, big brother. So you're trying to win the hearts of those 3 scumbags? I never knew that your tastes were so gruesome. Why are you staring at me, big brother? Why have your eyes become red? I guess I should get down from here. I'll leave the rest to you now, big brother. Qin Feng had to keep his gallantry in front of his 200 students. Otherwise, he would have long ago kicked Lu Jie into the heaven. Meanwhile, as the man with the earring and his 2 minions fell to the floor, some of the students rushed forward and tied them up. Fang Ming and his 3 minions were exasperated when they saw their plan had once again failed. Professor Qin Feng, these scumbags have been subdued. What should we do to them? Qin Feng walked to the man and his 2 minions with a fake smile on his face. The 3 of them felt as though they were being targeted by a serpent, so they struggled for all their worth, but to no avail. None of them could free themselves from the knot. We should send them to the security department, Professor Qin Feng. They will know what to do with these 3 scumbags, a student suggested. Qin Feng shook his head as the smile on his face broadened. Students, what are we learning today? Professor Qin Feng, You said you want to teach us the acupuncture. Qin Feng put on an expression like a light had broken upon him. Oh yeah, we're learning acupuncture today, but sadly, I can't teach you all how to manipulate the needles if we don't have a training dummy. What should we do? What should we do? The students' eyes glowed as they all focused their gazes on the man with the earring, and his two minions like a bunch of hungry ghosts looking at a barbecued chicken. Professor Qin Feng, are these three people good enough to be our training dummies? Frowning, Qin Feng said with all the seriousness, we can use them as our training dummies, but we have to get consent from them first. And since you all are first-timers, I bet you all will stick the needles in the wrong acupoints, which may cause pain and bleeding. I'm not sure whether these three people will be about to withstand it or not. The man and his two minions finally saw the light. These 200 students wanted to make them their training dummies for acupuncture. Their faces blanched at the realization, and cold sweat began to ooze from their bodies. They looked like wet chickens that had been drowned in a downpour. Professor Qin Feng, I'm sure they will be very glad to be our training materials. See, they all nodded, and they did not say they are not willing to. Some of the students stuck stockings into the mouths of the man and his two minions and pulled their hair to force them to nod. The man and his two minions had never experienced this kind of disgrace since they began their kind of work. Tears welled up in their eyes, and their expressions were full of remorse. Well, I express my gratitude on behalf of my students for you three volunteering to be our training dummies. Your utterly fearless action and the spirit of willing to sacrifice for the good of many should be praised. Well, let's not waste any more time and start our practice session now, Qin Feng said while plastering a sly grin on his face. The students were so excited that any onlookers would have believed that they were on steroids. Since they had their training dummies now, some of them stood on the floor side by side in front of the trio while some crowded behind them. Each and every one of them had a tiny silver needle in their hands, and they hesitated on deciding which acupoints they should insert the silver needles into first. Chapter 443. I'll never set my foot in this university ever again. Chapter 443. I'll never set my foot in this university ever again. Ding! Ding! New quest from the Hedonist sovereign system. Earn Xiao Shi's trust. Time limit, 6 months. The system will reward host Qin Feng 30,000 Hedonist points and free admission into the Heavenly Fortuity Cavern if the quest is cleared. If the quest is failed, 60,000 Hedonist points will be deducted. The system notification beeped in Qin Feng's mind, signaling a new quest for him. Qin Feng's mouth tensed as it was yet another tough quest. It had been less than a week since Qin Feng began teaching at Jindu University, and though he hadn't known Xiao Shi for a long time, Qin Feng knew plenty about the woman. Xiao Shi was dull as water, and she always distanced herself from the crowd. She always sported an aloof expression regardless of anyone or anything. Her heart was apparently had encased in a million-year iceberg, and nobody was able to see through to her thoughts and true emotions. Hence, obtaining the trust of a woman like her was by no means an easy matter. Little Pig, what is the Heavenly Fortuity Cavern? Qin Feng decided not to wreck his brain and asked Little Pig about the Heavenly Fortuity Cavern. Little Pig happily snuggled into Xiao Shi's arms and replied telepathically, Master, the Heavenly Fortuity Cavern is a miraculous place and is super useful. Master can take it as a place saturated with dense spiritual essence from heaven and earth, and the speed of cultivating in the Heavenly Fortuity Cavern is many times faster than the outside world. Qin Feng's eyes glowed, and he followed up with another question, how fast is it? It depends entirely on the level of the Heavenly Fortuity Cavern. In its most basic form, the heaven and earth spiritual essence is 30 times greater on the earth. This means that if Master cultivates in the Heavenly Fortuity Cavern for 1 day, the effect will be the same as cultivating on the earth for 30 days. Qin Feng almost screamed in excitement. If he had such a miraculous place, he never had to worry about his slow cultivation speed anymore. Suddenly, a question flashed in Qin Feng's brain as his brows furrowed in worry. Little Pig, the Heavenly Fortuity Cavern is free to use, right? Master, Ever since you obtained the hedonist sovereign system, is there anything offered by the system that has been free? Little Pig cast a disdainful expression at Qin Feng and chided him for his ignorance. Qin Feng's face sank when he remembered how the system loved to troll him. Then how does the system charge for using the initial state of Heavenly Fortuity Cavern? Actually, it's pretty cheap. The system will only charge Master 1 hedonist point per second. Qin Feng giggled when he heard the number. 1 hedonist point per second is not that expensive after all. However, when he meticulously went through the math, he was so angry that he almost shattered the system. 1 hedonist point per second, so 1 minute would be 60 hedonist points, and 1 hour would be 3,600 hedonist points. Thus, if he entered the Heavenly Fortuity Cavern for 1 day, the system would charge him 86,400 hedonist points. A whopping 86,400 hedonist points. Ever since Qin Feng obtained the hedonist sovereign system, he had never earned so much hedonist points before. What's more, that was only the cost for staying in Heavenly Fortuity Cave Pavilion for a day. Professor Qin Feng, can you help us to check whether we are on the right track? How come these 3 people have fallen unconscious? The yelling of students drifted into his ears and pulled Qin Feng out his thoughts and back to the mortal world. Qin Feng then looked at the man with the earring and his 2 minions. What the hell is that? His mouth chewed vigorously when he saw that the man and his 2 minions' bloodied and battered bodies were stuck with countless silver needles, and they had started foaming at their mouth. Only now had he realized that his students were even more heartless than he was. Let me see. They are fine. Don't you all worry about that. They're merely suffering from transient shock. It's a good chance now for everybody to practice your acupuncture technique. You all should try to wake them up with the silver needles. Qin Feng felt the trio's pulses and realized that they were not in a life-threatening state. So he resumed his students' acupuncture practice session. The students were all pumped up since this was their first practice session to practice their acupuncture technique. Besides, there were only 3 training dummies to serve a colossal number of students. There was a total of 200 silver needles on each of their bodies. Their bodies were bloody, and they seemed were even scarier than a horror movie. What's happening? Why are you all crowding the podium during lecture hour? Do you think the university is a general market? A cold voice suddenly echoed as Xiao Lei entered the lecture hall. Xiao Lei's voice disappeared under the growing tumult. The students continued to insert silver needles into the body of the man with the earring and his 2 minions without paying any attention to Xiao Lei. His eyes almost popped out from his anger. Hey, are you all deaf? Walking around and making a lot of noise during the lecture hour. Do you want me to take disciplinary action against you all? Xiao Lei raised his voice and yelled at the students. The students were not afraid of Xiao Lei, but they were afraid of getting penalized. They would be in big trouble if they failed their class before the final exam. With his loud voice, Xiao Lei got all the students back to their own seats. In just merely 10 seconds, the previously obstreperous lecture hall had now become silent and well-organized. All of the students sat with their backs straight and appeared like a bunch of obedient elementary school students. Xiao Lei's achievement made him arrogant. He swaggered his way to the podium while staring at Qin Feng. When he was at the podium, he realized that there were 3 ragged human puppets lying lifelessly on the table. They scared him so much that he yelled, "Holy shit! What are these 3 things? Are they human, or are they ghosts? Damn it! Who put these 3 things on the table?" Xiao Lei slipped and almost fell down from the podium. His comical reaction had the students rolling in the aisles. Xiao Lei had shattered his hard-built hegemony, and he was angry about that. He shot a few fiendish glares at the students and yelled, "What are you all laughing at? Whoever dares to laugh again will be penalized." The students refrained from laughing after Xiao Lei had warned them. Qin Feng, on the other hand, let out a ringing laugh. "Director Xiao, how come you're so timid given your well-upholstered appearance? It's just 3 dead people. Why did you yell like a little girl?" Xiao Lei had a vendetta against Qin Feng since the last time they met, so how would there be any chances that he would bend his knee in front of Qin Feng? He boldly said with an awe-inspiring noble spirit, "Humph, they are merely 3 corpses. I'm not afraid of them. I can touch them too." Xiao Lei then squatted beside the man with the earring. As his hand almost reached the man's nose, he suddenly came back to his senses and fell to the floor. Are you nuts? Why are there 3 corpses on the podium? Are you a Y or what? Haha, you really entertain me a lot, Director Xiao. You, as a chief physician of Jindu's University's affiliated hospital, corpses should be the last thing that scares you. How come you're still afraid of it? Qin Feng scoffed. Even though Xiao Lei was a doctor, he was the kind of doctor that lived by his wits and always skived off his duty. When a patient with a lesser illness showed themselves, he would be the first one to attend them. However, when there was a large operation that really needed his specialty, he gave all kinds of excuses to run away from his duty. Furthermore, given that his second uncle was the vice president of the affiliated hospital, his colleagues could only hold their tongue in pent-up indignation in front of Xiao Lei's wits. Hence, Xiao Lei had very little chances to see corpses over the past 3 years. When he knew Qin Feng had placed 3 corpses on the podium, Xiao Lei's knees instantly went limp. He needed to lean against the table so that he could get up from the floor. Qin Feng walked to the man with the earring and his 2 minions. His hand moved very fast, turning into dozens of silhouettes in the eyes of Xiao Lei and his students. After 10 or so seconds, Qin Feng had removed the thousands of silver needles from the trio's bodies. There is nothing to be afraid of, Director Xiao. These 3 corpses are training dummies I brought for everyone to practice their acupuncture technique. They were crowded around the podium because they're having a practice session. It's not at all like what Director Xiao said, making noises and wandering around in the lecture hall lawlessly. Xiao Lei finally calmed down his raging mind after Qin Feng had explained to him. It was a little bit scary to use corpses as training dummies, but in fact, it was considered normal in the medical field. During his time studying at Jindu University, Xiao Lei's professor had used a corpse to teach them as well. You should have placed the corpse behind. It's kind of not suitable to place them at the front of the lecture hall. Xiao Lei chided Qin Feng angrily to prove that he wasn't afraid at all. Oh yeah, what made Director Xiao come here at this time? Do you have an announcement to make? Qin Feng asked Xiao Lei with a gleeful smile. Xiao Lei really had something to announce. It was just that he had forgotten his true intention for coming here after he saw the bloodied, battered man with the earring and his 2 minions. Of course, I came here because I have an important announcement to make. Otherwise, do you think I'm so free? Xiao Lei scornfully berated Qin Feng. After Xiao Lei cleared his throat, he regained his high and mighty posture and swept his gaze over the students. I've obtained news from the management of the medical college. The exchange students and representatives of the St. Medical Institute will arrive in Jindu in no more than half a month. After they have landed in Jindu, they will come straight to our medical college for an inspection and information exchange. The St. Medical Institute is a brilliant star in the medical field, and I know that everyone is aware of that. Hence, I'll skip that part and jump to the next part, which is the main reason I came here today. The higher-ups of medical college value this study exchange very much, and they have very high expectations from you all, so they invited a person like me, who is the very spearhead of Western medicine, to give every one of you a practical training session and to broaden your knowledge about Western medicine. Xiao Lei could not stop himself from bragging, as if he had consumed the stride gum. Qin Feng shook his head as he pondered, nowadays people, will they die from not being pretentious? Not only Qin Feng, but all of the students gave a scornful expression at Xiao Lei, and they were nauseated by Xiao Lei's bragging remarks. Xiao Lei did not notice the students' actions and continued to speak arrogantly, ahem. Okay, that's enough from me today. I believe that every one of you has a deeper insight into me now, and that you all must be starting to admire me. To be honest, you all don't have to admire my achievements. As long as you all follow my instructions and pay attention to my class, I can assure you that in less than half a month, I can turn you all into excellent and qualified doctors. Not ordinary doctors, but doctors who can work on an operation by his own. Cough, cough. As Xiao Lei was blowing his own trumpet, a spell of coughing sounded behind him. The trio finally awakened. Actually, they had regained their consciousness a while ago. However, they were in too much pain and too exhausted, so they could not get up and remained lying on the floor. Woo, woo, big brother, I would rather go kill someone than coming here. They scared me. The other minion's face was filled with tears as well. He choked on his voice and said, Me too, big brother. I swear I'll never ever set my foot in this university again. Nobody in this university is normal. The lecturers of this university are better at blowing their own horns over another than lecturing, and their students are all freaking fanatics. Chapter 444, Martial Artist Alliance Level 5 Mission. Chapter 444, Martial Artist Alliance Level 5 Mission. The man with the earring and his two minions chatted quietly, so Xiaolei could not hear them as he was lost in his own speech. He continued to praise his own wares on the podium, and the two minions could not withstand it and had the urge to gouge out their eyes and poke their ears until they were deaf. Oh good lord, where will all this end? Hey brother, can you just please shut up? One of the minions mustered up all his strength and yelled. His yelling was quite loud and Xiaolei stopped talking. I'll kneel down to you in my heart if you can stop talking. Get out from this class if you don't want to listen, you snotty brat. Nobody asked you to stay here anyway, and your very existence disgusts me. Xiaolei suddenly looked at Qin Feng. Since Qin Feng was the only person standing beside him, Xiaolei thought it was Qin Feng who yelled. Qin Feng shrugged his shoulders innocently. To prove his innocence, he simply walked to the first row and sat beside Hua Yin. Their bodies stuck together since they shared a chair. Hua Yin shot a few warning glares at Qin Feng which ignored. Xiaolei was pleased with the sight of Qin Feng taking the initiative to sit with the students. He spoke arrogantly to himself. This is the right thing to do. You are merely a student compared to me, and you think that you're qualified enough to stand on the same ground as me with your trifling age-old knowledge. Xiaolei's mood was getting better. He cleared his throat and blabbered on and on. This time the university wants me to pick 5 aces from you, all as exchange student representatives to welcome the representatives from the St. Medical Institute. The 5 aces will be tasked with receiving our friends from America and learn with them. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I believe that every one of you is very eager to get yourself involved in this exchange program. Xiaolei swept a glance across the students to find some in a zesty mood. To his dismay, he realized that nobody out the 200 students were paying attention to him. What angered him the most was half of them were even lying asleep on their tables. A pent-up fire raged within Xiaolei. Calm down, Xiaolei. You can do this, he comforted himself. Then, he plastered a grin on his face and added, Haha, thank you all for your enthusiastic responses. Okay, you all can now start clapping your hands. Hey, you students on the first row, get off the table and get back to your seats. Everyone must go through a tough examination, and we'll pick the representatives by comparing how well you do on the examination. I won't get any of you in through the back door even if you all rave yourselves hoarse now. And the female students in the last row, put on your clothes now. I, Xiaolei, am an upright and fair-minded man. I won't succumb to your honey trap, so stop doing this. The students were lazy in response to Xiaolei's shamelessness, and the man with the earring and his 2 minions almost vomited blood. Because the 3 of them were lying on the table, they could not tell if it was true that the female students were taking off their clothes to seduce Xiaolei. However, their ears were still in fine condition. The students were all quiet as cicadas in the winter. They could have heard the sound of a pin dropping to the floor clearly whenever Xiaolei stopped his long-winding nonsense. That damn fatty. No one in this universe could ma his prowess in blowing his own horn. Brother, please, I beg you for mercy. Can you just please stop fucking talking? I would have long escaped from this hell if I still had the ability to run. Blowing your own trumpet could cost a person their life. You can kill a person with just your mouth. The 2 minions looked dazedly into the ceiling and shook their heads incessantly as their faces were eloquent with despair. Xiaolei stopped before sending a fiendish glare at Qin Feng. Do you have anything to say to me, you brat? Why do you keep interrupting me? Get out of the class now. Xiaolei pointed to Qin Feng and huffed. Qin Feng shrugged his shoulders nonchalantly and replied to him, I'm sorry, but it wasn't me. I haven't said anything as of just now. A strange feeling arose within Xiao Lei as he realized Qin Feng was right. He had uttered nothing. Besides, Qin Feng was sitting in the first row in front of him, and the sound had come from behind Xiao Lei. Holy fuck. GGGH ghost. The corpses are coming back to life. Xiao Lei exchanged glances with the man with the earring and his two minions as soon as he turned around. When he saw three of them giving him death glares with bulging eyes, he was so shocked that he almost had a heart attack, and he jumped like a clown on the podium. Fuck. Brother, what did he say just now? He said we're three corpses coming back to life. He is cursing us to die. The man with the earring and his two minions were infuriated by Xiao Lei's remark and reaction. As the flame of anger burned within them, a surge of vigor suddenly rose and coursed through their powerless limbs, causing them to regain their ability to move. The three of them instantly shot up from the floor and stormed toward Xiao Lei, encircling him in a triangular pattern. Holy motherfucker! How dare you curse me to die? I swear I'll kill you first. The man with the earring moved first and slapped Xiao Lei's face hard enough to send him crashing into the table. One of the minions kicked Xiao Lei's ass, causing him enough pain that Xiao Lei squealed like a pig that was getting bored. Brother, let me have this guy. I hate people who love to talk big. The scene aroused the students. They all showed no concern for Xiao Lei and enjoyed the show from the sidelines. Io, help me. Somebody help me. How can you outlaws casually beat up somebody in the class? Is there any justice in your actions? Hey, you all, stop weighing. Hurry up and call the police. Xiao Lei screamed in pain while he yelled for help. However, nobody answered to his pleas. The minion was having a good time beating Xiao Lei, and he almost crushed his ass. Big brother, I've had enough. Let's run now. The minion gave up after Xiao Lei had fallen unconscious. He was clear in his mind that he was at a university, and he would not probably end well if he was caught by the university. The man with the earring had come to show some color to Qin Feng, but Qin Feng once again completely crushed his plan. Let's disengage now. He was not reconciled with his defeat, but there was nothing he could do now. He had to retreat. Otherwise, he might get caught and get into big trouble. We have plenty of time ahead of us. I'll still be able to avenge myself. Nobody stopped them because they pitted them for becoming their training dummies. Geez, we failed again. I must get it all back from him next time. Fang Ming's expression was cold. This was his third attempt to get his revenge from Qin Feng, but all his plans got blown up in the end. Qin Feng taught 2 more classes. After the bell rang, Qin Feng returned to Chang Xian's villa because he had no classes in the afternoon. Qin Feng went to his room and locked the door. After that, he pulled out the Martial Artist Alliance-issued communicating device. After he activated the device, Qin Feng started to look for a mission. He obtained 350 points from his previous mission, and he had a total of 500 mission points now. He was a level 5 member of the Martial Artist Alliance, and he could accept level 5 missions on his own now. The Hedonist system had issued him an SSS class quest, Martial Artist Alliance. One of the side quests required him to complete a level 5 mission from the mission board of the Martial Artist Alliance. The reward of this side quest was 10,000 Hedonist points and a random initiation of a mysterious interface in the system. Qin Feng was quite looking forward to the mysterious interface. Martial Artist Mission Level 5. Mission Description: collect 3 bottles of water from the 100-year stream from the Water Fairy Cave. Please take note that the Water Fairy Cave is guarded by a powerful spiritual beast. Please form a team before accepting the mission. Mission reward: 500 mission points, 2 devil fruits, and a piece of winter iron armor. Martial Artist Mission Level 5. Mission Description: hunt a blood-frenzied ape from the dark forest and collect its spirit core, shinbone, and hide. Mission reward: 400 mission points, 1 pound of black iron, and 1 pound of red stone. As Qin Feng skimmed through the level 5 missions, he realized that most of the level 5 missions required him to travel around Jindu or to the outskirt of Jindu. He wasn't very familiar with the outskirt of Jindu, and he did not have enough time to travel around the areas either. Meanwhile, The missions in Jindu looked difficult and most of them were team missions. Qin Feng forwent forming a team, so he did not take any of those missions. The last mission, however, intrigued him. Martial Artist Mission Level 5. Mission Description: Exterminate the Sima family of Acropolis City. Mission Reward: 1,000 mission points, a spirit stone, and a 100-year glacial crystal. Exterminate the Sima family of Acropolis City? Hee, I like this mission. Qin Feng did not think much more about it and clicked on the mission. The mission was a solo mission, and the reward was many times better than other level 5 missions. The reward for completing this mission was 1,000 mission points. Besides, the Spirit Stone and the 100-year glacial crystal seemed like a badass item. However, Qin Feng was confused when he saw that the mission had been released 1 month ago. That meant that nobody had accepted the mission, and it had remained in the mission board for a month. Nobody accepting a mission with such an attractive reward? Qin Feng murmured in his heart. Qin Feng cast off his doubt after he pondered it for a while. Missions above level 4 were normally tougher, and most of those missions were team missions, but this mission he was looking at was a solo mission. What's more, it required him to fight the powerful Sima family. Who would accept the mission if he or she did not have a feud with the Sima family? Accepting the mission purely meant that you had to make the Sima family, one of the 4 strongest families in China, your enemy. Other people were afraid of the Sima family, but Qin Feng wasn't. Moreover, the Sima family in Acropolis City had declined after the fight at the Amethyst Dragon Palace. After the fall of Sima II, the Sima family in Jindu left the Sima family in Acropolis City out in the cold. They even retrieved the family heirlooms, the Malus Azure Wing Blades, and gave them to Sima Yang as they were now nurturing Sima Yang to be their next successor. Qin Feng did not think much about and accepted the mission. The person who released the mission sent a message and a friend request to Qin Feng. Hello, Green Wolf. I'm Xiao Shi Lang. Hi, Qin Feng replied laconically. Can you tell me your real name? Qin Feng raised his brows in astonishment. I have to tell you my real name before accepting the mission? This time, Xiao Shi Lang took a few minutes before replying, yes, you do. Too many people were looking for him, so he had to be cautious. He could not simply divulge his identity to an outsider. Then forget it. I'm abandoning the mission. Chapter 445, Trap. Chapter 445, Trap. Xiao Shi Lang messaged Qin Feng after a few minutes had passed. Are you really not going to accept the mission? The rewards are plentiful. Doing this mission is equivalent to doing 2 level 5 missions. Qin Feng replied resolutely, no, I'm not doing it. The mission suited him well, but Qin Feng did not want to expose himself. As he was looking for alternatives, Xiao Shi Lang messaged him again. Well, that's fine if you don't wish to disclose your details. I'm kind of worried since the mission has been idle on the mission board for a month. It's been hard for me to find someone to accept my mission, so I hope Brother Green Wolf can complete the mission as quickly as possible. I'll give you more rewards after you have completed the mission. Qin Feng could not fathom why this person suddenly changed his mind. This Xiao Shi Lang sounds weird, Qin Feng thought. Fine then, I'll try my best. I'll mobilize in around 10 days. Qin Feng accepted the mission at last. He planned on returning to Acropolis City to exterminate the Sima family anyway, even without the mission. Since the mission offered him such a handsome reward, Qin Feng figured that he might as well accepted it. Well, good luck then. Xiao Shi Lang logged off after he replied to Qin Feng for the last time. A strange feeling still lingered in Qin Feng's heart, but he cast it aside nonetheless. He activated his own cell phone and started looking for information about the Sima family in Acropolis City. At the same time, in a private villa in Jindu, a man clad in a black robe and a large black hat spoke. Young master, has somebody accepted your mission? An impressive-looking youngster sat on a couch in front of him. The youngster wore a red tang costume with white trousers and a pair of white leather shoes. He reclined comfortably on the couch while holding a glass of red wine in his hand. His eyes glowed. These 2 people were the 2 men in black who had appeared at the Amethyst Dragon Palace 3 months ago. The elder killed Sima Tu and Qin Yi and was severely injured by Shimin Chue Shui, but his injuries had improved. The mouth of that handsome youngster slowly broadened into a devilish grin. Uncle Yin, you're right? A flick of murderous intent flashed across Uncle Yan's eyes. Did he expose himself? No, he is very cautious. Do young master think he is Qin Feng? Uncle Yin asked. Hee. It's hard to say at this moment. After all, the Sima family in Acropolis City has bad blood with many other forces outside. The youngster sneered. Now, the Sima family has fallen into decay with each passing day. Many of their enemies will seize this golden opportunity to pull them down from their throne. After he fell silent for a moment, the youngster opened his mouth to speak again. We will find out the true identity of the person in less than 10 days. Uncle Yin, go to the Sima family in Acropolis City now. Keep an eye on that person. Whenever he shows himself, kill him on the spot and bring his corpse to me. Yes, young master. Uncle Yin bowed to the youngster with hands folded in front. Then, he leaped into the air and vanished from the splendid parlor as if he'd never existed. After Uncle Yin took his leave, the youngster's smile shifted back into a wicked grin. The youngster and Uncle Yin had returned to Jindu after the battle at the Amethyst Dragon Palace 3 months ago. The youngster felt that Qin Feng was still alive, but had been unable to find even a trace of Qin Feng's whereabouts in the past 3 months. Hence, in desperation, he released the Level 5 mission to destroy the Sima family in Acropolis City. The youngster wanted to lure Qin Feng out from his cave, so he tailor-made the mission for Qin Feng by setting it as a solo mission and offered a handsome reward. Haha, Qin Feng, you say, will we meet each other in another 10 days? If yes, it will be the date of your death. Qin Feng was looking for recent news regarding the Sima family of Acropolis City on the internet, and he was deeply shocked by how languid the Sima family had become. The Sima family was no longer one of the 4 largest families of Acropolis City. They were not even considered as a third-tier small familial clan anymore. Even so, Qin Feng dare not take them lightly since the mission wanted him to crush the Sima family in Acropolis City. The saying went that an emaciated camel was larger than a horse. Regardless of how much the Sima family had declined, they still had a very strong and durable foundation. It would be a tough job to destroy them entirely. In order to carry out his mission, Qin Feng had to return to Acropolis City. He planned to finish the unfinished quests regarding the women in Acropolis City during the trip as well. Qin Feng then opened the Hedonist sovereign system and checked on the quests issued by the system previously. Completely eliminate all of the Liang family's forces in Jindu. Quest time limit, 3 months. The system will reward host Qin Feng with 20,000 Hedonist points once the quest is cleared. If the quest is failed, the Hedonist sovereign system will be reset. All of host Qin Feng's skills will be taken back, and host Qin Feng will be required to reopen the Hedonist sovereign system. Take down the Sky City's Su family's company. Quest time limit, 3 months. The system will reward host Qin Feng with 10,000 Hedonist points once the quest is cleared. If the quest is failed, host Qin Feng will lose 5 to 10 years of his life. Host Qin Feng must raise his inner chi to stage 4. Quest time limit, 3 months. The system will reward host Qin Feng 2,000 Hedonist points once the quest is cleared. If the quest is failed, host Qin Feng's inner chi will forever stop at stage 3. Host Qin Feng must concoct a blood chi pill to save and awaken Lin Bei Bei from her coma. Quest time limit, 3 months. The system will reward host Qin Feng with 1,000 Hedonist points once the quest is cleared. If the quest is failed, Lin Bei Bei will never be able to wake up. Assist Yun Zhao's little brother, Yun Lei, become the junior patriarch of the Yun family in Jindu. Quest time limit, 3 months. The system will reward host Qin Feng with 5,000 Hedonist points once the quest is cleared. If the quest is failed, Yun Xiao will become a sacrificial item for marriage alliances and be married into another rich family. Host Qin Feng must collect 6 pieces of orange-grade spiritual equipment. Quest time limit, 3 months. The system will reward host Qin Feng with 5,000 Hedonist points and a random piece of blue-grade spiritual equipment once the quest is cleared. If the quest is failed, host Qin Feng will lose all orange-grade spiritual equipment. Beast Clan Disturbance Chain Quest. Quest time limit. Unlimited. The main quest was to find the King of the Beasts and rule over the Legion of the Beasts. The system will reward host Qin Feng with 500,000 Hedonist points once the quest is cleared. If the quest is failed, 100,000 Hedonist points will be deducted, and the human race and Beast Clan will fall into chaos. The first side quest has been completed. Please wait for the announcement of other side quests. These 7 quests were issued by the system before the fight at the Amethyst Dragon Palace. After Qin Feng studied the quests for a while, he felt that he could clear all other quests aside from the Beast Clan disturbance with his current strength. Qin Feng believed that he could clear the quests regarding his inner chi level and concoct the blood QI pill to save Lin Bei Bei the fastest. Qin Feng was excited and nervous when he thought about returning to Acropolis City to destroy the Sima family in less than 10 days. He left Acropolis City more than 3 months prior, and this time Qin Feng wanted to restructure Acropolis City. He eagerly hoped to let everyone in Acropolis City know who owned the place and who was the rightful ruler of Acropolis City. Phew! Qin Feng sat with his leg crossed and began to cultivate. Since he was returning to Acropolis City, Qin Feng had to work harder to break through to Stage 4 Inner Chi over the next few days. As an Inner Chi cultivator, Stage 4 was the goal. Although Qin Feng was only a Stage 3 Inner Chi, he could put up quite a good ma against some Stage 6 Inner Chi martial artists with his supreme level skills and orange-grade spiritual equipment. As such, if he was able to break through to Stage 4 Inner Chi, wouldn't it be an easy battle for him to crush those Stage 6 Inner Chi martial artists? Cultivating made time pass quickly. The sun had already set by the time Qin Feng opened his eyes. Chang Xian and Hua Yin had returned to the villa, and they were weighing TV. Qin Feng was a little bit lost because he still could not break through to Stage 4 Inner Chi yet. The Inner Chi in his Dantian was getting denser and denser, but it was still not enough. He was only a step away from breaking into Stage 4. Oh yeah. Qin Feng's eyes glowed as he suddenly remembered. Hua Yin received 300 flavor plants from the exterminating Taoist Rakshasa quest. I believe I can break through to Stage 4 if I consume those 300 flavor plants. Qin Feng only realized that Billowy Lady was Hua Yin because Hua Yin's outfit was shredded by Taoist Rakshasa during their fight. Otherwise, he would never found out that Billowy Lady was actually Hua Yin. Then, a quest that had already been issued suddenly came to Qin Feng's mind. The system has issued a quest for me to assist Hua Yin in becoming a Stage 6 pharmaceutical master. Also, Hua Yin planted many spiritual plants outside the villa. After connecting everything into a line, Qin Feng reached a conclusion. So this Hua Yin is not only a demon cultivator, but she is a pharmaceutical master as well. TSK, TSK, TSK. I never knew that woman was so outstanding. As Qin Feng decided to steal the 100 flavor grass, somebody knocked on his door. Then, Hua Yan's grumbling voice drifted from the other side of the door. Hey, lazy-ass freeloader. You should contribute to the house since Big Sister Xian allows you to stay at her house. I won't blame you for not helping us with house chores, but how dare you still need me to come to your room and invite you to the dining hall for dinner? Do you really think you are a king? Billow. Yin Yin, don't be so angry. Your breasts will become bigger if you get angry. Hua Yin saw Qin Feng smirk when he opened the door, and the sight enraged her so much that she wanted to slap Qin Feng's head with her boobs. Just like happy foes, Qin Feng and Hua Yin quarreled every time they met each other. Chang Xian's eyes dimmed when she saw them bickering again. After she finished preparing dinner, she went ahead and started eating without waiting for Hua Yin and Qin Feng. Yin Yin, go to bed early today since the first 2 classes tomorrow morning will be my Chinese medicine class, Qin Feng said nonchalantly while eating dinner. He had decided to steal the 100 flavor grass from Hua Yan's garden, so it was natural for him to want Hua Yan to go to bed early today. It's none of your business what time I go to bed. You're so annoying. Humph. Hua Yan suddenly stopped and a bright pink blush instantly crawled up to her cheeks. Hua Yan misunderstood Qin Feng. She thought Qin Feng was caring for her, and she felt weird about it. She felt a trace of disgust mixed with a little bit of warmth. Chapter 446, The Freezing Magic Seal. Chapter 446, The Freezing Magic Seal. I'm done. I'm heading upstairs first. Chang Xian was upset. She threw her chopsticks onto the dining table and ran upstairs with an icy expression. Yin Yin, is Xian sick? You should take her to the doctor when you are free, Qin Feng suggested Hua Yin after Chang Xian had left the dining hall. Hua Yin rolled her eyes at Qin Feng since she knew the reason behind Chang Xian's anger. Chang Xian wasn't sick. She pulled her face was because Qin Feng hugged Xiao Shi in class. She isn't sick. Stop cursing big sister Xian, or else I'll tell her about this and have her cast you out from our house. Qin Feng shook his head with a serious expression and said, You don't understand. Xian is really sick. She's been emotionally unstable since 4 days ago. 5 days if today is counted. A woman will experience mood swing 3 days prior to menstruation. That's normal. However, she has been in a constant rage for the past 5 days. This could only mean one thing. Her menstruation cycle is irregular. Listen, Yin Yin, you must take Xian to the doctor whenever you're free. I'm a guy, and it's kinda awkward for me to speak about this kind of thing with her. Otherwise, I would have taken her to consult a doctor since long ago. Seeing Qin Feng talked with all the seriousness as if Chang Xian was really having a menstrual disorder, Hua Yan's mouth went crooked. She threw the chopsticks on the dining table as well, rose to her feet, and prepared to go upstairs. Maniac, pervert. Yin Yin, have you done your dinner as well? Are you going to sleep now? Qin Feng pressed down his excitement and asked. It's none of your business. Why are you talking so much tonight? Nobody will take you as a dumb person if you keep quiet. Hua Yin seemed irked by Qin Feng, but deep down inside, her heart raced. She felt Qin Feng was acting weird tonight. Why does he suddenly care for me? Hee hee. Then I'll keep my mouth shut. Remember Yin Yin, go to bed early. Staying up late hurts your health. Hua Yin almost stumbled as she stood, and her face blushed in red. She quickly ran to the 3rd floor and locked herself in her room. Her heart was still beating fast, feeling fluttered like a little girl who had her first love. Qin Feng was not in the mood to finish his dinner anymore after Hua Yin went upstairs. He returned to his room and took out his communication device. Billowy lady, have you gone to bed yet? Qin Feng tentatively sent a message to Hua Yin. Qin Feng knew that she was Billowy lady, but Hua Yin did not know that he was Green Wolf. Not yet. Hua Yin replied to his message quickly. It seemed that she was looking for another mission. I've reported the level 4 mission. Have you collected your rewards? Qin Feng asked as he did not see the newly planted 100 flavor grass in Hua Yan's garden when he came back in the afternoon. Yes, I collected them this afternoon. Qin Feng was delighted to hear it. Ever since Qin Feng had obtained the compendium of 100 Materia Medica, he had a deep understanding of the herbs and spiritual plants that existed on the earth. He understood that once the 100 flavor grass left the soil, it would wither in less than 3 hours. Hence, Hua Yin must have planted the 300 flavor grass in her garden, and his plan to steal the plants would came to fruition tonight. Billowy lady, it was my pleasure to work with you. Can you send me a photo of your boobs? Qin Feng could not resist teasing Hua Yin. As a master of hooking up with women, Qin Feng knew that in real life, many women masqueraded as gentle, elegant, and conservative women. These kinds of women were normally pretty open when they were interacting via the internet. Perhaps Hua Yin was this kind of woman. Soon enough, Hua Yin replied to his message with a line of knife emoticons. She added, Do you want to die? After he had some fun with Hua Yin, Qin Feng felt that it was almost time for him to make his move. He started to persuade Hua Yin to go to her bed early so that he could put his plan into action earlier. I should not talk any more further. Rest early, billowy lady. Staying up late will harm your health. Please take care of yourself. Qin Feng logged off after he had sent the message. In a room on the 3rd floor, Hua Yin was bewildered. Green Wolf's message had evoked her memory when Qin Feng asked her to sleep early. Breathless with indignation, Hua Yin threw away her phone and grumbled, "What's wrong with these men? Am I very close to you all? Why do you all care about me all of a sudden? You might as well promise to take care of me for the rest of my life if you can. Otherwise, stay away from me." She grumbled and chided them for a short while before sleep began to take over her conscience. She undressed and pulled the coverlet over her body before reclining against the pillows. She wasn't worried for her garden, since she had placed a freezing seal on the spiritual plants. Anyone who dared to touch or steal her spiritual plants would trigger the seal and get frozen to death. Be ready to get freeze to death if you dare steal my spiritual plants again, you foolish bastard. Hua Yin shook her little pink fists into the air and slept in. Qin Feng began his cultivation after he closed the communication device. It was in the wee hours of the morning when he stopped his cultivation. It's time now. He made his way silently out of the villa. Then, he looked up into the third floor and noticed that the light was off in both Hua Yin and Chang Xian room. They finally went asleep. A sardonic smile crossed Qin Feng's face. He moved swiftly to Hua Yan's garden. Since he had the compendium of 100 materia medica, Qin Feng could now discern every spiritual plant in Hua Yan's garden. Qin Feng was baffled when he realized that there were 15 types of different spiritual plants in this small-scale garden. Moreover, all of the 15 types of spiritual plants were rare on Earth. The angel plant, devil fruit, crimson lunar deity, 100 flavor grass, and so on. All of them were essential ingredients in concocting medicine pills. Qin Feng still looked for the 100 flavor grass after he had roughly scanned through the spiritual plants. At the end of it, the 100 flavor grass had the highest concentration of spiritual essence of heaven and earth, and it was the most useful for Qin Feng. Qin Feng uprooted 200 flavor grass so that there were only 300 flavor grass left in the garden. He was unsure what Hua Yin would do when she found out he had once again stolen her spiritual plants. However, Qin Feng could not care that much anymore longer. He had to break through to stage 4 energy fast. Qin Feng quickly devoured the 100 flavor grass as soon as he entered his room. In next instant, surges of ice-cold, dense spiritual essence of heaven and earth coursed through every nerve ending in Qin Feng's body. He hastily sat down with his leg crossed and began to refine the spiritual essence into his own inner qi. Hua Yin suddenly woke up. She had placed the freezing seal on her spiritual plants, and it would notify her if somebody triggered the seal. Now, she could clearly feel that somebody had breached into her garden and initiated the seal. Without giving it a second thought, Hua Yin ran down to the garden in her flimsy white sleeping gown, and she soon arrived at her garden. She started to check her spiritual plants. Suddenly, her brows furrowed as flames burned in her beautiful eyes. Qin Feng, accept your death now. Within the time of a few breaths, Hua Yin had arrived at Qin Feng's door. She pulled out her long crimson whip and whipped it at Qin Feng. Crack! Qin Feng did not evade her attack, and the sound when the whip made contact with Qin Feng's body wasn't the normal crisp lashing sound, but a kind of rattling sound that resembled the sound of something shattering. Clicks! Hua Yin turned on the light, and she was stunned by the scene before her. Qin Feng was encased in ice from head to toe. Just now, Hua Yin's attack had landed on the ice and shattered a small piece from it. However, in the next second, new ice formed over the damage and returned it to its original state, totally encasing Qin Feng in the ice and turning him into an ice sculpture. Soon enough, Hua Yin saw the light and she gloated, guffawing uproariously. Ha ha ha! Finally, finally! The evil we bring to ourselves is the hardest evil to bear. You've triggered my freezing seal, and you deserve it. She surmised that Qin Feng must have stolen the 100 flavor grass from the garden and swallowed it raw, thus evoking the freezing seal. Chilly air was formed into his body and turned him into an ice. Her delight was short-lived. She stopped and peered at Qin Feng seriously. The freezing seal was a high-grade spell specially owned by the demon cults. Once it was activated, the damage it caused was massive, and it was almost impossible to lift the seal. Since Qin Feng was a martial artist, Hua Yin knew that he did not know, nor had a way to dispel the seal. She was certain that Qin Feng would be dead in another hour. Jesus, I must have been indebted to you in a past life, you bastard. You stole my treasured spiritual plants this late at night, and I still have to figure out a way to save your life. You really are a troublesome person. Hua Yin kept chiding Qin Feng, but she made her way to Qin Feng's side to check his condition. Hua Yin had a bad relationship with Qin Feng since she first met him. Although she loathed him very much, she never wanted to kill him. Hua Yin was a kind and just woman by nature, so how could she allow Qin Feng to die in front of her? This is bad. The seal has been in effect for more than 20 minutes, and his inner qi is starting to turn to ice. He will be dead in another 30 minutes. Hua Yan's brows locked together tightly. She looked at Qin Feng, who was encased in ice, as her face began to blush red. She had set up the freezing seal, and of course she knew how to lift the seal. The only way to dispel the freezing seal was that she had to take off her shirt and warm his body with her own, because only through body heat and demon essence could the corrosive power of freezing seal be stopped. Chapter 447, Twin Beautiful Combination. Chapter 447, Twin Beautiful Combination. 1 a.m. Jindu was still as busy as always, filled with bustling cars and sea of people zooming from street to street. It was completely indicative of the prosperity and extravagant lifestyle of the city. The Star TV studio was full of frenzied activity. Two beautiful young women wearing hot pants and rainbow-colored knee-high socks sat in their respective chairs and fixed their makeup. Sure, man, let's have a feast later at East District. We have not been there for a while, and I've missed their spicy hot pot very much. Looking at Zhang Kuku's face full of excitement and ludicrous exaggeration, Rao Sherman forced a smile on her face and replied, Kuku, why don't we return to the hotel and have a rest instead? I'm tired like a dog from rehearsing the whole day. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku were first-rate Chinese celebrities. They formed a twin, beautiful combination temporarily to join the exploding Chinese reality television singing competition, Voice of China, that was broadcasted on Star TV in the famous Star TV enterprise in Jindu. Both of them had been in rehearsal from 8 p.m. yesterday until 1 a.m. today, making it a total of 5 hours of singing and dancing. Rao Sherman was totally worn out and in disbelief at her best friend's tenacious strength when she saw Zhang Kuku still bouncing around like nothing. Big sister Sherman is tired? Why don't I feel anything? I feel I can sing another 10 songs. Zhang Kuku said mischievously. Rao Sherman then realized that Zhang Kuku was acting weird recently since her strength seemed bottomless. I wonder what is going on with you, Kuku. You used to be a lazy worm. You wouldn't use your true voice if you were given the opportunity to fake it. You used to sit on the stage and sing a whole song if you don't have to dance. What have you eaten recently? You are becoming a superwoman, Rao Sherman said while she measured Zhang Kuku. Zhang Kuku was infamous for her laziness among the celebrities. When Rao Sherman busted her, she blushed. How can you sling mud at me like that, Sherman? I never slack off from my work. I'm a 20-year-old young woman, and I have to sing 15 songs at least at a concert, so I need to sit down to save my strength. Zhang Kuku whined at Rao Sherman while hugging her arm. They were both cold and elegant, beautiful angels in front of their audience. If their fans had a chance to see how casual and close they were behind the scene, their mouths would gape wide in utter shock. Before I forget, big sister Sherman, did you keep a few of these few talismans? Zhang Kuku rolled her eyes as she pulled out a stack of yellow talismans. What is that, Kuku? Why should I keep these talismans? Rao Sherman was tickled pink by Zhang Kuku's amusing expression and laughed sweetly. We're in the 21st century where the sciences flourish. These talismans are of ancient times. Zhang Kuku got these talismans from Qin Feng's stall on Yuli Street. Although Zhang Kuku was not superstitious, she was naturally attracted to this kind of ancient stuff. Hence, she kept the talismans on her body at all times, and she would take them out and study them whenever she had time. Maybe you don't believe this, Sherman. I always bring these talismans with me wherever I go. I believe this is the reason why I haven't gotten tired while attending events recently. Rao Sherman felt the same as well. Ever since she had a stroll with Zhang Kuku on Yulin Street, Zhang Kuku apparently had changed into another person. She looked as fresh as a daisy, though she had worked for the whole day, as if she had taken steroids. The talismans can cleanse one's mind? Rao Sherman murmured. She remembered the soul-cleansing necklace Qin Feng gave her. The necklace had the ability to refresh the wearer and suppress fright. Suddenly, Rao Sherman's eyes glowed as a thought crossed her mind. Is that possible? A burst of laughter drifted into Rao Sherman's ears as her mind was flocked with all kinds of conjecture. Ha ha, I've been looking for you too. The two of them raised their heads and looked at where the sound came. Two men dressed in high-quality suits walked to their sides. One of them wore a well-pressed maroon suit, had an ethereal set of facial features that allowed him to stand above the masses. His handsomeness could rival some of the rising stars. However, he did not need to be a celebrity, as he was the chairman of Star TV Enterprise, Yang Kan. Beside Yang Kan was a man with a round figure. He wore a black suit. When he smiled, his jowls piled together and blocked his eyes. Young Master Yang. Young Master Liu. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku quickly rose to their feet and greeted them. The two people were popular rich young masters in Jindu. Yang Kan was the eldest grandson and descended from one of the four large familial clans of Jindu, the Yang family. Lu Shu was the big shot of yet another one of the four large familial clans of Jindu, the Lu family. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku did not cower in fear facing these rich young masters of Jindu. However, they were taught not to dismiss their etiquette. Haha, don't be so courteous, little sister Sherman and little sister Kuku. Lu Shu squinted his eyes, looked at them lewdly before shooting a gaze at Yang Kan. What a bad boss are you, young Master Yang. How can you let our two angels work until so late? I don't care. Hurry up and find us a nice and cozy clubhouse. We must treat these two angels to a scrumptious feast, or else I won't treat you as my brother. Hee hee, don't be so edgy, young Master Liu. Sherman and Sure are superstars with millions of fans. I dare not slight them. I've prepared a good place for us to enjoy our meal. It's at the Soaring Cloud Mansion. Let's go now. Now you're talking. Let's go now. Lu Shu and Yang Kan chimed in together and played their own show as if they really cared for Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku saw through their show, and they understood the truth very well in their heart, even though they refrained from busting their act. Rao Sherman rose to her feet slowly, pulled Zhang Kuku to her side, and offered a warm smile to Yang Kan and Lu Shu. Thank you. Kuku and I accept young Master Yang and young Master Lu's kindness, but I'm afraid we can't accept your invitation. It's quite late now, and we're physically worn out. Hence, we want to return to our hotel and rest. We're not going to the dinner with you guys. Rao Sherman declined their invitation straightly. A flicker coldness flashed across Lu Shu's and Yang Kan's eyes, but Lu Shu shrugged it off very soon and replaced with a bright smile. Haha, little sister Sherman, you have to eat your dinner even though you're tired. Young Master Yang will think that you look down on him if you're playing a face not to go on a dinner with him. Yang can read Lu Shu's mind and cooperatively pulled his face, acting that he was really angry. Please don't misunderstand us, young Master Yang. Kuku and I have never held you in contempt. We're really tired after the rehearsal. We'll go ahead and return to our hotel first. Rao Sherman pulled Zhang Kuku and made their way out from the studio before Lu Shu halted them. Holding a satirical smile, he said slowly, Ms. Sherman, we all are the citizens of Jindu, and we'll meet each other frequently. Over and over again you have declined our invitations, and I guess it's a bad idea. You know that Star TV Enterprise is owned by young Master Yang and has cornered almost all of the entertainment industry in China. If you still insist on not paying young Master Yang face and have a dinner with us, please don't blame young Master Yang for retiring you two from your work. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku were artists under Star TV Enterprise, so their destinies were practically controlled by them. Sherman, why don't we just go with them? Let's finish this quick and return to our hotel for a rest. I'll now call Big Sister Lee to accompany us. I guess with her by our side, they won't have the nerve to do anything to us. Zhang Kuku was quick to act. As soon as she finished speaking, she pulled out her phone and made a call to Big Sister Li. After she briefed her on their condition, Zhang Kuku hung up the phone. After that, she clung tightly to Rao Sherman's arm and said cheerfully, "Big Sister Li is on her way now. Let's not worry about the rest now then, Sherman." Big Sister Li was a 40-year-old woman and was their celebrity agent. With Big Sister Li joining in their dinner, Rao Sherman slowly dropped her guard. Moreover, she believed that Lu Shu and Yang Qian would not dare to do anything to them with the Dongfang family behind her. Fine then, young Master Yang and young Master Lu. Let's have dinner together. Kuku and I are going back to rest later, so let's be quick, Rao Sherman said indifferently to Yang Qian. Sure. Our cars are outside the studio. Let's go now. Lu Shu and Yang Qian's eyes glowed with a nefarious smile when both the ladies agreed to join them in a dinner. The four of them then exited the studio. As they arrived outside of the studio, there was a red Ferrari Enzo and a dark Maserati Quattroporte parked beside the studio. Big Sister Li arrived. Sherman, Kuku. Big Sister Li, let's go and have supper now. Zhang Kuku cheerfully wrapped her hand around Big Sister Li's arm when she saw her. Good evening, young Master Lu and young Master Yang. Big Sister Li greeted Lu Shu and Yang Qian after she pet Zhang Kuku's head. Since everyone is here, let's get moving now. I can see that Sherman is really tired. We'll send you two back to the hotel as soon as we have finished our meal. Yang Qian invited Rao Sherman into his Ferrari Enzo. The supercar was a two-seater car, but the Maserati Quattroporte owned by Lu Shu was a four-seater. Young Master Yang, Kuku and I will go with young Master Lu. Rao Sherman turned down Yang Qian's offer and pulled Zhang Kuku into Lu Shu's Maserati Quattroporte. Yang Qian face darkened, but he soon regained to normal and whipped a bright smile. Please hop in, Big Sister Li. Okay then. Please drive safely, young Master Lu. Take good care of my two angels. Don't worry about that at all, Big Sister Li. Let's move now. Lu Shu widened his smile at Big Sister Li and Yang Qian before hopped into his car. After they all got into their respective cars, Lu Shu and Yang Qian then started the engine. Roaring like beasts, the two supercars turned into a flash of lightning and merged with the luxurious night sky of Jindu. The two supercars arrived at the most high-end private clubhouse, Soaring Cloud Mansion, after 10 minutes. A few security guards came forward and welcomed them. Good evening, young Master Yang, young Master Lu. Please allow us to take care of your cars. Yang Qian and Lu Shu casually threw the keys to the security guards. They then walked toward Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku and greeted them with charming smiles. Welcome to the Soaring Cloud Mansion, our beautiful superstars. We've all the meals ready. After we have had our meal full, I'll personally take you two back to your hotel. That's good. Thank you, young Master Yang. Rao Sherman nodded slightly. Yang Qian and Lu Shu led the way while Rao Sherman, Zhang Kuku, and Big Sister Li trailing behind them. Chapter 448, 100 Million Hedonist Points Diagnosis. Hua Yin sat beside Qin Feng and stared at the ice-covered man for 10 minutes. Within this 10 minutes, Hua Yin had scolded Qin Feng starting from his earliest ancestor through at least 18 generations until she reached him, and then began to scold him in the same way in reverse. And now, she was still muttering to herself, what should I do? What should I do? I'm still a virgin, and I don't have a boyfriend yet. How can I cuddle with this filthy moron naked? How about I make him my boyfriend after I save his life and order him to treat me as his only one from now on? But this brat is such a playboy. I don't believe he'll obey my order so easily. Oh my, the ice has thickened. This man is going to die. Hua Yin restlessly paced back and forth in Qin Feng's room for 100 rounds. The only way to save Qin Feng was to cuddle with him, use her body temperature to melt the ice and her demon essence to dispel the freezing seal. However, this was a very tough decision for Hua Yin. All women and men are equal in the eyes of doctors. I'm now a doctor trying to save a person's life. How can I get tangled up in secular ideas? Two little men appeared in Hua Yan's mind and began a fierce argument. One of them argued for saving Qin Feng's, while the other argued to abandon him to his death. Ah, I don't care anymore. I can't let this man die in front of me. After going through a silent struggle, Hua Yan's eyes suddenly became determined. She grabbed and tore open her sleeping gown. Swoosh! The white sleeping gown slid down her smooth as jade body and fell to the floor. Hua Yan was a bombshell of agreeable form. When she thought of her current situation, her face blushed as red as a ripe tomato. What a lucky, little, snotty brat. Hua Yan had no qualms about hugging Qin Feng with her naked body. She lightly hopped up on Qin Feng's bed. Hiss! Hua Yan took a heavy breath as soon as she hugged Qin Feng from the behind. Even though she was a demon cultivator who cultivated freezing force, her body still trembled with cold when she touched her freezing seal with her naked body. It's too cold. Will Qin Feng still be fine after he thought? The coldness pierced like fangs deep into her bones. Hua Yan had to grit her teeth tightly to endure the unrelenting cold as the hairs on her body stood up. In a room on the third floor of the villa, Chang Exine could not fall asleep and tossed herself on the bed from side to side. Chang Exine had mistaken Qin Feng and Hua Yan as a new couple. Her brain was harrowed by many questions, and she wasn't sure if she had fallen in love with Qin Feng or not. As long as she saw Qin Feng was close to other women, she felt a prickling pain in her heart. I can't let this go on anymore. I've got to talk with Qin Feng about this and hear what is in his mind. Chang Exine had enough of this torturing feeling. She pushed her coverlet aside and went downstairs. Under Hua Yan's persistence and hard work, the ice on Qin Feng's body began to thaw and evaporated as wisps of steam into the air. The ice on Qin Feng's body grew thinner, and Hua Yan grew closer to his body. Smooch him. Suddenly, Hua Yan slipped, and her body made contact with a spread of skin in front of her. Slowly opening her eyes, Hua Yan realized that Qin Feng had totally thawed out, and her body was not stuck to Qin Feng's back. A flush of bright pink swiftly rose to her cheeks, and she wished could find a hole to hide in. Both of them were soaked to the skin, and they were stuck together. It was certainly a wet and messy sight that could stimulate anybody who saw it. Since the ice had defrosted, Hua Yan could begin transmitting her demon essence into Qin Feng's body. I'll settle the account with you after you have awakened, stupid. Transmitting demon essence didn't require full-on physical contact, so Hua Yan immediately pushed Qin Feng away and placed her hands on Qin Feng's back and sent demon essence into Qin Feng's body. Cold. It's so cold. As Hua Yan released Qin Feng began to struggle vigorously, startling Hua Yan. Before Hua Yan could react, Qin Feng had turned his body, wrapped his arms around Hua Yan's trembling body, and pulled her into his embrace. His strong and powerful arms almost crushed Hua Yan's bust. Hiss! Hua Yan took a deep breath, and her eyes were filled with fire. It was the least of her expectations that Qin Feng would take advantages of her. Qin Feng was hugging her naked body, and she felt like dying. You horrendous pervert! How dare you get fresh with me? Go to hell! Hua Yan blew her top. As she raised her palms to slap Qin Feng, somebody knocked on the door to Qin Feng's room. Qin Feng, have you gone to sleep yet? I've something to discuss with you. Chang Exine's voice drifted from the other side of the door. Big sister Exine? Hua Yan yelled in shock. She never expected her big sister Exine would come to find Qin Feng at this late hour. Could it be that before I returned to the villa, Qin Feng and big sister Exine really had slept in a room together? Have they already developed their relationship to that point? Hua Yan's thoughts jumbled together. She firmly believed that Qin Feng would be her future partner after Qin Feng had hugged her naked body. Only now did she realize that Qin Feng and her big sister Exine had already together. The revelation almost made her explode. Hua Yan. When Chang Exine heard Hua Yan's voice from Qin Feng's room, she was even more flabbergasted than Hua Yan. Without giving it a second thought, Chang Exine shoved open Qin Feng's door and went into the room. When she saw the scene in the room, her jaw dropped to the floor in shock. Ah, you guys. I. Chang Xian floundered when she saw Hua Yin and Qin Feng naked and cuddled together. Her purpose of coming to Qin Feng's room was to make it clear what was his relationship with Hua Yin. However, she felt she understood everything and nothing needed to be asked after she witnessed such a scene. Myriads of feelings roamed in Chang Xian's heart: pain, hurt, disappointment, sadness, anger. All negative feelings instantly swallowed her up and shattered her heart. She turned around and ran upstairs. In Qin Feng's room, Hua Yin was completely flabbergasted. Her brain went blank, and she knew she could never prove herself innocent even if she jumped into the Huanghe River. Her big sister Xian would misunderstand her forever. Holy shit! What are you doing, Hua Yin? How can you lay your hands on me while I'm injured? Qin Feng suddenly awakened. The first thing he did after he woke up was grab Hua Yin by her shoulders and speak earnestly. I should tell you in advance. I'm still a virgin, and I'll not be responsible for what you have done to me. Okay. Hua Yin moaned in pain, and it almost melted Qin Feng. You, the person who bears the name of the Qin family, how dare you gain all the favor and yet call it a disfavor? I'm gonna kill you now. Yin, faster kick me. Hurry up and kick me in the head. Qin Feng laughed. Hua Yin rose to her feet with a strong gale and lunged at Qin Feng. Aya, it's not high enough. Yin, kick higher. I won't move an inch. I'll let you kick me in the head to vanquish your anger. Qin Feng darted a few glances in between Hua Yin's legs. His nose almost bled. Hua Yin suddenly found something wasn't right when she was about to kick higher. When she found out Qin Feng's true intention, and that she had exposed her private part just now, her fury knew no limit. She roared, Qin Feng, wait until I come back. You hear me? I'll kill you after I dress. Qin Feng refused to give back Hua Yin her sleeping gown, so she returned to her room to find herself another sleeping gown. After she dressed, she stormed toward Qin Feng's room with the blood shadow whip in her hand, planning to settle their accord. How was there any chance that Qin Feng would wait obediently for Hua Yin to return to kill him? He had long escaped to a large tree outside the villa and enjoyed the fragrance on Hua Yin's sleeping gown that tickled his nostrils. Qin Feng was now recalling what happened earlier on. He remembered that after he consumed the 200 flavor grass, he had begun to refine the spiritual essence when a piercing cold aura suddenly invaded his dantian and completely encased him in ice. What a malicious woman! I just stole 2 spiritual plants from you. How can you cast a freezing seal that almost cost this young master's life? Qin Feng cursed and chided Hua Yin. Above all what she had done, Qin Feng still very excited in his heart when he thought about Hua Yin saving him with her naked body. TSK. Her body is so perfect. As Qin Feng extended his hands, he was stunned. One of his hand had turned black while the other turned purple. What the fuck is this? How dirty is that woman? And how long has it been since the last time she took a shower? Why have my hands turned black just by touching her? Qin Feng yelled in shock. Can you stop being a stupid, master? This is the sign of being corroded by evil energy and demon essence. Little Pig could not stand Qin Feng's stupidity anymore and chided him. Qin Feng screwed his head in embarrassment before turning serious again. What causes this? Master, you were inflicted by the miasma of Taoist Rakshasa during the battle with him on Ghost Mountain. Then, Hua Yin just now has transmitted some of her demon essence into Master's body. When 2 different energies collide, they begin to change. The 2 different energies are now trying to attack and invade Master's inner chi. Little Pig explained. How can it affect me? Is there any bad effect? Qin Feng asked worriedly. Since it wasn't him who was poisoned, Little Pig posed in an indifferent manner and explained nonchalantly to Qin Feng. Normally, the evil energy will invade the host's body and take over the host's consciousness. It at least will cause the host to lose all his inner chi, or worst-case scenario is that it will turn the host into a dead walker. Meanwhile, demon essence will cause the host to lose his sanity or explode from the host body, killing the host in the process. Qin Feng stared at Little Pig and roared, "Can you stop bluffing, you stupid pig? Do you believe that I won't throw you out into my class tomorrow?" "Master, I did not lie to you. What I said is the truth." Little Pig was scared. "But why have I been fine until now?" Qin Feng pondered. In normal accordance, the miasma and demon essence in Master's body is considered a lot, but Master's body has shown no sign of any mutation. The system has no idea also. Anyway, you shouldn't be worried, Master. You can always spend a sniffy amount of hedonist points and have the system to run a diagnosis on your blood. Qin Feng was worried about his body condition. He asked, "How much I need to pay?" "It's cheap, Master. You only have to pay 1,000,000 hedonist points." "Fuck, you're trying to fool me again." Qin Feng's face was darkened. "Master, that is the price given by the system. See it for yourself if you don't believe me." Little Pig said pitiably as if he was wronged. Qin Feng quickly went to check the system, and when he saw the cost of the blood diagnosis was really 1,000,000 hedonist points, he was completely dumbfounded. "I need 1,000,000 hedonist points just to check my body? Could it be my body holds a secret?" Qin Feng was curious about his own body. He was born with no talent and was regarded as a muggle since he was born. However, judging from the price given by the system to check his body's condition, Qin Feng was certain that he was actually somebody. He might be a 1 in a million martial artist prodigy. Qin Feng wished to disclose the secret about his body, but the cost for the blood diagnosis stopped him because he did not have that many hedonist points. Chapter 449, Stage 4 Inner Chi. The suspicion that his body contained a huge secret grew, but he had no other choice but to put his suspicion on the shelf because he didn't have 1,000,000 hedonist points. Qin Feng moved on from the questions about the secrets of his body and moved on to check the concentration of inner chi in his dantian. However, much to his surprise, his inner chi had not improved at all even though he had devoured the 200 flavor grass that contained loads of dense spiritual essence of the heaven and earth raw. What is going on? Qin Feng raised his brows slightly and tried to feel his inner chi, but the result was the same. His inner chi did not grow, and he was still stuck at stage 3 inner chi. "Master, the spiritual essence of the 200 flavor grasses was consumed by the freezing seal, so Master won't be able to feel the spiritual essence in your body." Little Pig's voice resounded. Qin Feng's mouth quivered. "So all my efforts for the night have been in vain?" "However, Master, I found something interesting," Little Pig said with a smug look on his face. "You stupid pig. Can't you finish your thoughts in one sentence? What is the thing that is so interesting?" Little Pig was as happy as lark looking at Qin Feng's dark as ink expression. "Master, to my surprise, your body bears a great resemblance to a septic tank. You can absorb almost everything." Qin Feng slipped and almost fell from the tree. "Can't you say something a human would say? What do you mean by my body is similar to a septic tank?" Little Pig shrugged his shoulders and replied unperturbed, "I'm a pig. How can Master expect me to speak like a human?" "Okay, fine. Master's body is like a junkyard, so you can contain anything." Qin Feng crushed all the branches around him and everything else he could reach in order to vent his anguish. He decided not to argue with Little Pig anymore. After all, what could you expect from the mouth of a pig? Flowery phrases? Make it clear. Qin Feng rolled his eyes at Little Pig. Master's body was invaded by demon essence and evil energy at the same time. By right, the essence and the energy should have consumed Master's soul and body, but that's not the case for you, Master. The demon essence and evil energy are slowly merging with your inner chi. To put it simply, Master, you now can cultivate inner chi, demon essence, and evil energy. Qin Feng was dumbstruck by Little Pig's explanation. He remained dazed for a few minutes before throwing his head behind and guffawed uproariously, "Ha ha! This young master will be invincible. Little Pig, why can I cultivate all 3 inner chi, demon essence, and evil energy concurrently?" The reason remains unknown, but I surmise that it's because of Master's body. This is the very reason why the system required 1 million hedonist points to run a diagnosis on Master's body. Master's body is very different from others. Little Pig finally said something that Qin Feng loved, and he grinned from ear to ear. Then, he regained his calmness soon after. In his body were powerful evil energy and devil essence that weren't inferior to the 200 flavor grass. If he could refine and merge the evil energy and devil essence into his own inner chi, Qin Feng was certain that he would be able to break through to stage 4 inner chi. Phew! Qin Feng took a deep breath, calmed his heart, and began to cultivate. He pushed the demon essence and evil energy into his dantian. Then, he controlled his inner chi to devour the demon essence and evil energy. Slowly, Qin Feng's mouth curled into a satisfied smile as the demon essence and evil energy began to merge with his inner chi. The inner chi in his dantian became denser, and it felt like it would explode at any moment. Rumble. A muffled explosion echoed in Qin Feng's dantian as Qin Feng felt something had exploded in his body, and the haunting repression was gone. The feeling of liberation after being suppressed so much was superb. It was 10 times better than a wedding night. I've succeeded in breaking through to stage 4 inner chi. Qin Feng slowly opened his eyes. His eyes glowed like bright stars in the gloomy night. He had turned into a new leaf, and his essence was purer and more refined. His body glowed with great brilliancy like the sun. Shroom. Qin Feng hopped lightly and turned into a streak of lightning. In the blink of an eye, he landed on another large tree 5 meters from the one he'd been standing on. Shroom, shroom, shroom. He had become a lot faster. It was thrilling. He zigzagged nimbly from tree to tree in the green belt like a primate. It feels so good. So this is how it feels when you reach stage 4 inner chi. No wonder the rumors say that achieving stage 4 inner chi is a quantum leap for a cultivator. Qin Feng felt his speed had doubled. Suddenly, his left hand glowed orange with tremendous force and smashed on a large tree trunk. Rumbles. The tree trunk shattered, and the towering tree slowly crumbled to the ground. Haha, just you wait for me, people of the Sima family. After breaking through stage 4 inner chi, Qin Feng's strength had catapulted to new heights, and he could easily defeat a stage 6 inner chi master. Master, let's give the wind blade technique a try. It's an earth-level martial skill. Little Pig reminded Qin Feng. Qin Feng's eyes glowed. Qin Feng had used the earth-level wind blade technique before. However, he couldn't use it to its full potential when he was at stage 3 inner chi. Even so, with the wind blade technique, Qin Feng had successfully fended off the Yin-Yang elders who were stage 6 inner chi masters. In a similar situation to Yin-Yang elder, Qin Feng had staggered the verdant sect's custodian Qin Feng with the wind blade technique, took him by surprise, and killed him. Shroom, shroom, shroom. Qin Feng focused, and suddenly, 10 or so white flashes were thrown into the air. In the next second, a large tree about 10 meters from Qin Feng fell to the ground. The wind blade technique. Through concentrating the wind, it can morph into blades and kill a person in the dark. It's a must-have skill for quick assassinations. Qin Feng tossed his head backward and laughed into the sky. Haha, the description is on point. It is indeed a great skill for assassinating a person. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for stepping into the realm of stage 4 inner chi. The system will reward host Qin Feng 2,000 hedonist points. Host Qin Feng has 11,500 hedonist points now. A reminder, host Qin Feng has borrowed 20,000 hedonist points from the system. Today is the 6th day of the loan, and 120 hedonist points in interest has accumulated. The system hopes host Qin Feng will work harder to complete more quests so that host Qin Feng can finish the repayment as soon as possible. Qin Feng was excited because he finally broke through into stage 4 inner chi and could use the wind blade technique to its full extent. However, the system notified Qin Feng of his loan at the wrong moment and instantly iced his good mood. The most exclusive private clubhouse in Jindu was the Soaring Cloud Mansion. Yongkin reserved a luxurious private room. The room looked dazzlingly brilliant and splendid in green and gold. On top of that, the room was fully equipped with a wide array of facilities such as a guest room, a tea parlor, a bar, a sauna room, and an in-room theater. Rao Sherman, Zhang Kuku, Big Sister Li, Yang Can, and Lu Shu sat at a 3 meters long crystal dining table. Lu Shu and Yang Can claimed the seat at each end. Meanwhile, Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku sat in the middle. Big Sister Li sat in front of Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku. Both Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku were superstars worth billions of yuan. They got invited to attend all kinds of grand feasts in Jindu, so both of them had become accustomed to European-style dining situation and dining etiquette. 2 medium-well steaks were placed in front of Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku. Aside from the steak, in front of them were 2 glasses of brandy which had a very high alcohol content and was many times higher on the shelves than the top wines of China. Haha, I'm so delighted that Sherman and Kuku are willing to give me face and have dinner with me. I'm so very happy that my heart is beating so quickly. Let me give our 2 angels a toast. I wish you 2 will become even more famous this year than the previous year. Yongkin proposed a toast and shot a bright smile at Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku. His smile was purely made of innocent and pureness, and it was described as being able to reap the heart of every woman who saw it. We must return the toast. I, Lu Shu, will empty my glass first. Without waiting for Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku, Lu Shu had raised his glass and guzzled down the brandy. Lu Shu cast a meaningful gaze at Big Sister Li after he placed down the glass. Accepting his cue, Big Sister Li said smiley, "Among the entertainment industry, the Yang Family Star TV enterprise is the most influential and has the highest audience rating. Can Sherman and Kuku soar even higher into the sky? Is all depend on your support, young Master Yang. I am a person who won't bow and scrape. Let me drink up." Big Sister Li has reigned freely among the upper-class world of Jindu for more than 30 years and had long trained to be a double-crosser. Lu Shu and Big Sister Li guzzled down their wine to return the salute. After that, everybody then looked at Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku. "Sorry for the rudeness, young Master Yang. I believe that you understand that both Kuku and I don't drink alcohol. As such, to return your compliment, we substitute tea for wine." Even as a non-alcoholic drinker, Rao Sherman knew about brandy. It was a hard drink, and it would knock them out instantly, leaving them unconscious for hours with only a small cup. Rao Sherman was an old bird, and she knew she had to protect herself. If Sherman is not drinking, then so do I. Zhang Kuku was ignorant. She did not have the mind to beware of the drink. When Rao Sherman said she would not drink, she followed likewise. Both of them then took a sip of their teas. Yang Can and Lu Shu expressions turned grim. Lu Shu played his eyes at Big Sister Li. Taking his cue, Big Sister Li chirped, "Hee hee." Big Sister Li understands that Sherman and Kuku are teetotalers. However, since young Master Yang has toasted to both of you, you won't show your courtesy if you don't reply to his good intention. Sherman, Kuku, just take a sip, okay? Meanwhile, I wish for young Master Lu Yang and young Master Lu pay me respect and forget it. Yongkin held a grave expression. He looked upset. Lu Shu joined Big Sister Li to smooth out the dispute. "Don't push them too hard, young Master Yang. You know very well that Sherman and Kuku can't drink. We are all friends. Why we have to make things so ugly?" After that, Lu Shu plastered a smile while looking at Rao Sherman. "Sherman, can you and Kuku pay me respect and take a sip? After that, I'll personally send you 2 back to the hotel. My heart ached when I think of you 2 have rehearsed for 5 hours. Chapter 450 In the Name of the Moon, I Shall Punish You. Chapter 450 In the Name of the Moon, I Shall Punish You. Rao Sherman raised her brows slightly. Since Lu Shu and Big Sister Li had said it like that, Rao Sherman had run out of excuses. Also, Given the fact that Yang Kan was the chairman of the Star TV enterprise, it would hurt both Zhang Kuku and her career gravely in the long run if they enraged him. I'll take a sip then, young Master Yang. Rao Sherman raised her glass and took a sip from it. Cough, cough. The brandy caused a burning sensation in Rao Sherman's throat. She coughed, and her tears almost dropped from her eyes. Are you okay, Sherman? Zhang Kuku quickly pat Rao Sherman's back and asked earnestly. Cough, cough. I'm fine. Kuku, drink some and let's return to the hotel. Rao Sherman waved her hand at Zhang Kuku, signaling that she was fine. Without considering the consequences, Zhang Kuku picked up the glass and guzzled it down. Kuku, that's enough. Why did you drink so much? Rao Sherman was shocked by Zhang Kuku. She quickly went forward and took Zhang Kuku's glass away from her hand. Zhang Kuku mischievously stuck her tongue in Rao Sherman and giggled. Don't worry about me, Sherman. I'm perfectly fine. I just wondered what the alcohol tasted like since I'm not an avid drinker. It tastes disgusting. I wonder why men love alcohol as much as their own life. Rao Sherman was speechless at Zhang Kuku's words. She ignored her, turned her head and looked at Lu Shu with her beautiful eyes. Young Master Lu, can we have the honor of you taking us back to the hotel? The eyes of Lu Shu and Yang Kan were veiled with banter when they saw Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku had drunk the brandy. Lu Shu quickly rose to his feet and walked to the two angels. He offered them a warm smile and said, Sure, it'll be my pleasure. Let's go, our angels. Rao Sherman helped Zhang Kuku to her feet, while Lu Shu gave them space to walk in front of him. They walked 3 steps and everything suddenly went black, and they fell to the snow-white wool carpet. Haha, as I expected. 3 steps down. Lu Shu burst into a great gale of laughter as he gazed at the beautiful long legs of the two angels. Yang Kan's face was full of joy as well. He went to Lu Shu's side and said, How long will the effect last? Will they wake up in the middle of us having a sensational moment with their bodies? Haha, rest assured, young Master Yang. The 3-step down is one of Verdant Sect's 7 wonder drugs. I've made many promises and had to ask my friends to get my hand on a single packet. The person who takes 3 steps down will fall unconscious in 3 steps and the drug will last for 12 hours, so we can play to our heart's content with these 2 pretties tonight. Yang Kan's final doubt was cleared by Lu Shu's explanation. While the two of them lewdly measured the 2 beautiful women, Big Sister Li stood at sideline calmly, as if all of this was not relevant to her. You've played an important role in this plan, Big Sister Li. Rest assured, you'll be the leading role for the time travel drama that Star TV Enterprise has invested tens of millions of money to build. I believe that as soon as the drama is released, you will make a name for yourself overnight, and that your fame will not be any lower than these 2 girls. Ho ho ho. Thank you, young Master Yang and young Master Lu. Big Sister Li was so happy that she grinned from ear to ear. This plan had been staged by Yang Kan and Lu Shu for a long time. They bribed Big Sister Li and had her to put the 3 steps down in the women's glasses. Rao Sherman trusted Big Sister Li wholeheartedly, and this was the very reason for her downfall tonight. Well, I'm going back. Have a good time. Big Sister Li felt that it was time for her to retreat. Behaving like 2 brutal beasts, Yang Kan and Lu Shu squatted beside Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku, and their fervent glares ran up and down the 2 beautiful women's incomparably nice bodies. Young Master Yang, will we be fine afterward? Lu Shu was worried. Rao Sherman was backed by the Dongfang family, and it would be bad for them if their actions tonight was exposed. Yang Kan scoffed. Are you going to back down now, young Master Lu? I've prepared a full set of equipment to shoot an AV video featuring them. We're not only going to have a good time enjoying their bodies, we will shoot a good video of them as well. They are the hottest celebrities in China, and I think young Master Lu understand the meaning behind the title. With their pornography in our hands, they won't be able to do anything but swallow the insult and humiliation silently. Lu Shu instantly whipped up a lecherous smile. His jowls almost covered his eyes. What a hell of a move, young Master Yang. Haha, Let's not wait any longer and let's get started. Yang Kan went towards Rao Sherman while Lu Shu favored Zhang Kuku unconcerned and casual attitude more. Both of them pounced on their targets respectively. Bang! As they began to tear off their shirts, a muffled explosion echoed. With a tremendous force, a yellow ray of light shot out of Zhang Kuku and thwarted Lu Shu and Yang Kan. Thump! Both of them fell to the ground, and their bones almost shattered. Fuck! What is that thing? Lu Shu wiped off the bloodstain from the corner of his mouth. His eyes went bloodshot. Similar to Lu Shu, Yang Kan's face was filled with an intense rage. His eyes gleamed with amazement as his voice trembled. Instrument. It should be an instrument. As a descendant of one of the 4 largest familial clans of Jindu, it was natural for Lu Shu to know what an instrument was. His brows locked tightly and he said, "What should we do now? Fuck. I never expect these 2 bees to have an instrument." Both of them were trained by their family in martial arts since young. However, they were not very bright in cultivating martial arts. Even with the huge supplies of elixirs and magical pills, Lu Shu was only a stage 2 inner chi expert. Yang Kan was slightly better. He had only broken through to stage 3 inner chi a few days prior. The talismans on Zhang Kuku when he was still a stage 3 inner chi expert. Thus, it was more than enough to fend off Lu Shu and Yang Kan. An instrument can nurture the overall health of the wielder. Most of them lengthen wielder's life expectancy and improve the immune system. The defensive mechanism, on the other hand, is automatic, and the instrument will vanish after it is triggered. Since the instrument has evoked its defensive mechanism, it's gone now. These 2 bees, I must let them have a good taste of my fury tonight. After pondering for a moment, Yang Kan's expression turned chilly as he once again pounced on the 2 girls. Bang! As he arrived at Zhang Kuku's side, another explosion occurred. A similar yellow light with a powerful gale of gust shot out from Zhang Kuku's body and sent Yang Kan flying again. Yang Kan flipped backward and landed safely on the floor. Lu Shu hastily went to his side and helped him up. "Are you okay, young Master Yang?" Yang Kan and Lu Shu were shocked, and they resumed their defensive stance. What happened? Why am I sleeping on the floor?" Zhang Kuku was awakened by 2 explosions. She pushed Rao Sherman to wake her up. "Sherman, wake up. Let's go back sleep at the hotel." "Kuku, what happened? Seems like I blacked out." Rao Sherman slowly opened her eyes. Her face turned vile and serious when she saw Lu Shu and Yang Kan. "Kuku, run." "Sherman, why are we running? What happened?" Unconcerned and careless as always, Zhang Kuku was an ignorant, big-busted woman that could not get a grasp of what was happening around her. She remained in the dark, but Rao Sherman had seen through Lu Shu and Yang Kan intentions. She quickly dragged Zhang Kuku and rushed towards the exit. Run? Where can you run?" Yang Kan outmaneuvered them and blocked the only exit with his tall stature. Zhang Kuku finally sensed the danger. She screamed, Big sisterly, save us." Lu Shu and Yang Kan was thrilled by Zhang Kuku's foolish expression. Rao Sherman frowned deeply. She pulled Zhang Kuku to her side and murmured to her, "Stop yelling. Big sisterly has betrayed us." Big sisterly? Impossible. Arg. That by. We treated her fairly and always think of her whenever we're having something good. How could she betray us? Rao Sherman felt hopeless at Zhang Kuku's words. How can she still have the mood to scold big sisterly in this dire situation? I guess it's all up to me if I want to escape from here. Lu Shu stood behind them while making a threatening remark. "Sherman, Kuku, it's better if you surrender." "I guess you 2 know our abilities and strength very well. We can dissolve any of your resistance easily with only a finger, and we won't show any pity for you. So, don't blame us if we accidentally screw your flawless faces and kill your future of being celebrities." They were cornered. Both of them were 2 feeble women without any offensive skills. Rao Sherman's heart burned with anxiety. Suddenly, Qin Feng's handsome face came into her mind. Rao Sherman thought it would be good if Qin Feng was here. What are you guys doing? Have you two forgotten that the Dongfang family supports me? If you dare do something bad to us, I swear the Dongfang family will not let you two off easily. The powerful Dongfang family was Rao Shiman's final resort. However, she realized that Lu Shu and Yang Qian were apparently not afraid at all. Both of them offered them sardonic smiles. Haha, the Dongfang family? If I was afraid of the Dongfang family, I wouldn't have wasted all my time and energy on setting up this trap. Rao Shiman, you think too highly of yourself. Above all, you're only an opera joke. An opera joke can only make a fortune after they've been fucked many times. Yang Qian's warm smile slowly turned into a cold one as he slowly walked toward Rao Shiman and Zhang Kuku. Rao Shiman's last resort had failed, and she was anxious. Suddenly, Zhang Kuku, who had been ignored by everybody, pouted. She grabbed a handful of talismans from her pockets and stood between Yang Qian and Rao Shiman. Oomph! You filthy trash with the heart of a beast. How dare you bully Shiman and I? In the name of the moon, I shall bring justice to you too. Yang Qian and Lu Shu were stunned before they laughed. What the fuck is this? Does she think she is Sailor Moon? Chapter 451. The Bastard Taoist and Qin Feng. Chapter 451. The Bastard Taoist and Qin Feng. Cuckoo. Stop fooling around. Focus on the situation. Rao Shiman felt embarrassed and stopped Zhang Kuku from making a clown of herself. Shiman, please don't beg for these two beasts who are worse than monsters. In any case and at any rate, I must destroy them by the name of the moon. Ha ha ha. Lu Shu and Yang Qian laughed themselves to tears when they saw Zhang Kuku angrily free herself from Rao Shiman's clues and whining. Hey, you two, kneel down and apologize to us. I'm a kind-hearted woman, and if you're sincere enough to move this mistress, I might let you off the hook. Zhang Kuku was too naive to differentiate between sarcasm and reality. She held a serious expression and looked at the duo. Hugging her head in her arms, Rao Shiman curled herself into a ball to conceal her presence and acted as though she did not know Zhang Kuku. Ha ha ha. Yang Qian and Lu Shu's laughter intensified. After they laughed for a good while, Yang Qian slowed his breathing and panted, Ha ha, what an empty-headed woman. Young Master Lu, isn't this kind of bimbo suitable for your tastes? Hurry up and take her away, or else I might laugh to death just listening to her. Ha ha, you're right. Young Master Yang, I'll show you how am I going to make this woman my woman. Lu Shu stopped laughing and plastered a smug look on his face as he slowly cornered Zhang Kuku. Rao Shiman was so nervous that her hands began to sweat. However, Zhang Kuku wasn't afraid in the slightest. Posing as a sailor scout form Sailor Moon, she exchanged glances with Lu Shu and said resolutely, I'm giving you the last chance, brat. Kneel and apologize to us. Otherwise, this mistress will not go easy on you. Lu Shu could not suppress his laughter any more this time as he was amused by Zhang Kuku. Hey, young Master Yang, is the 3 steps down have side effect? Or did we overdose them, and the drug burned a fuse in this big busted woman's brain? That might be possible. Yang Qian nodded enthusiastically. Lu Shu smiled while stomped hard on the ground. He closed the gap between him and Zhang Kuku and moved as fast as lightning, merging himself with the wind, and completely vanished from Zhang Kuku's sight. Where is he? Zhang Kuku frowned. Even though Lu Shu was only a stage 2 inner chi expert, he was still quite formidable against non-martial artists like Rao Shiman and Zhang Kuku. Both of them were not able to see a Lu Shu. Haha, didn't you want to exterminate me in the name of the moon? Anything can come after I have a good taste of your body. Lu Shu's laugh suddenly sounded beside Zhang Kuku's ear, startling her. Zhang Kuku's expression turned vile. She nervously pulled out a yellow talisman from a stack of talismans and shoved it towards Lu Shu without considering the effect of the talisman. Feng Feng is a handsome man. After Zhang Kuku enchanted the incantation, the yellow talisman burst into flame. Rumble. After the explosion, the yellow talisman burned into a 3-meter-tall tower of fire encasing Lu Shu. Lu Shu turned into a man on fire before he realized it. Yang Can and Rao Man were dumbfounded. What happened? Uh, 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 water. Young Master Yang, find water for me. Arg, it's so hot. It's burning me. The parlor was filled with Lu Shu's shrieking, which snapped Yang Can out of his confusion. Holy fuck. Hurry up, go to the sauna room. There's a pool in there. Quick. Follow me. Yang Can's face was blanched with fear as he lost his composure. He was scared by Zhang Kuku. The talisman she used was too powerful and strange. He could not fathom how she could execute a pyromantic attack with mere paper. Yang Can felt that the flame would certainly destroy his handsome face if she set him on fire as well. Quick, follow me. Yang Can ran out of time. He quickly led Lu Shu to the sauna room. Zhang Kuku danced with joy after she defeated Yang Can and Lu Shu. Hee. Sure man, I've defeated the villains. Let's return to our hotel now. Zhang Kuku waved her fist at Rao Man in a proud manner. Rao Man finally came back to her senses. She peered at Zhang Kuku before pulled her hands and escaped from the soaring cloud mansion. Sure man, are we not returning to the hotel? You're going the wrong way. No, we're not going back to the hotel. Yang Can and Lu Shu are tenacious. They surely won't let us go so easily. They will see us if we return to the hotel. Let's go to Big Sister Ching Shue's house. Rao Man flagged down a cab and ordered the driver, brother, the Dongfang Mansion please. The driver trembled when he heard the words Dongfang Mansion. The Dongfang Mansion was a famous place known to all. It was the ancestral home of the Dongfang family, one of the 4 largest familial clans of Jindu. The driver drove with extreme care on the journey. He dare not spark a conversation with his guests as he was afraid that he might offend Zhang Kuku and Rao Man if he said something wrong. What is that thing you threw at Lu Shu, Kuku? How can it blow fire? Rao Man asked Zhang Kuku. With a triumphant expression, Zhang Kuku waved her pinkish fists and revealed the truth to Rao Man. So that bastard Taoist is the real deal. I've made a fortune this time. That bastard Taoist demanded 2 million yuan for a few talismans before the city guard arrived and ruined his business, so I took all his talismans away. The talismans that saved us were drawn by that bastard Taoist. Zhang Kuku gesticulated with her arms happily. The driver took a peek at the 2 girls from the rearview mirror and felt that they looked like 2 celebrities. However, when he saw Zhang Kuku speaking like a psychopath, he shook his head and discarded his suspicions. Talisman? Fake Taoist? Rao Man murmured to herself. Suddenly, her eyes glowed. Kuku, when you threw the talisman at Lu Shu, you murmured something. What did you say? Rao Man clawed at Zhang Kuku's arms tightly and caused her to yell in pain. Man, let go of me. That hurts. Are you talking about the incantation? That bastard Taoist taught it to me. He said I needed to chant the incantation before using the talisman. The driver almost fainted. He could not fathom why the 2 beautiful young women behind him talked nonsense better than himself. What is the incantation, Kuku? Can you repeat it? Rao Man's heart raced. The suspicion of that Taoist being related to Qin Feng was getting stronger. Feng is a handsome man. Zhang Kuku pouted. How can that bastard Taoist set such an unruly incantation? I bet Feng is his nickname. What a narcissist. Rumble. Zhang Kuku's reply exploded like a muffled thunder in Rao Man's mind. Her clear and bright eyes suddenly went blank as if her soul had been reaped. Feng is a handsome man. A narcissist. The talisman has the same effect as the soul-cleansing necklace. Was he really Qin Feng? What's wrong, man? What is going on? Zhang Kuku felt that there was something wrong with Rao Man. She pushed Rao Man to pull her back from her thought. Kuku, can you recall the facial features of the Taoist? Rao Man finally snapped out. She tightly grabbed Zhang Kuku's arms and pressed forward. Zhang Kuku tried to free herself, but to no avail. She then grumbled, "That was a long time ago. I've forgotten his face." On top of that, that bastard Taoist was dressed in a Taoist costume, and his face was hidden behind his mustache. I thought he was a cheater who was afraid of being caught by people, hence his outfit. Many people must have fallen for his crafty plot. But I might be wrong about him since the talismans I took from his stall are the real deal. It really blew fire after I enchanted the incantation. Zhang Ku's well-defined brows were stuck together. Her cherry lips pouted as her mind was filled with doubts. Rao Sherman heaved slightly. A myriad of feelings surged through her heart. She had obtained the intel from Han Ying and Liu Chun that the Qin family of Acropolis City had fallen. After Qin Feng had gone missing, she made a frantic approach by calling his cell phone 100 times. First, his cell phone was off, and in the end, it turned into a blank number. Rao Sherman had a very special feeling toward Qin Feng. When she discovered that Qin Feng was that little boy 8 years ago that accompanied her at the Lotus Lake, she left a room for Qin Feng in her heart. However, her sweet feeling of being in love was short-lived after Qin Feng had gone missing. And now, she had finally found a clue to Qin Feng's whereabouts, but to her dismay, she had no idea where to start. Seeing that Rao Sherman was acting weird, Zhang Kuku asked with a pout, "What happened, Sherman? You look somewhat unhinged, and why did you keep asking about that bastard Taoist?" I am all right. Maybe I'm exhausted. It has been a crazy month. I guess I'll be taking a rest from working for the next month. Kuku, I heard that America's Saint Medical Institute is going to have a study exchange with our alma mater. I plan to do a concert during my break at the university. What do you think? Do you want to join? Rao Sherman quickly diverted Zhang Ku's attention. Holding a concert at our old school? That's great. It's been such a long time since I last went back to the school. I wonder how my sisters are holding themselves. The driver had been listening to their nonsense on the journey. A fire-blowing talisman, an old bastard Taoist, and holding a concert at their alma mater. The driver's heart had completely shattered. The car stopped in front of the Dongfang mansion. The driver let out a long sigh as he saw Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku off. Hi, what gorgeous women. Flawless faces, smoking hot bodies. But too bad that there's something wrong with their brains. It's such a waste. Chapter 452. Hitting Up Girls Under the Guise of a Lecturer. Chapter 452. Hitting Up Girls Under the Guise of a Lecturer. Qin Feng slowly opened his eyes. He saw a pale streak over the treetops and knew the day was coming. After a night of cultivation, Qin Feng finally refined the evil energy and demon essence in his body into inner qi and successfully soared into stage 4 inner qi. He felt different now. Step. Qin Feng lightly hopped from the treetops onto the grassy field. He was wearing Hua Yan's white sleeping gown. Since dawn had arrived, he needed to return to his room and change clothes. He had a handful of Hua Yan's boobs last night, so Qin Feng knew that she was still angry. He tiptoed back to his room without awakening the two girls and swiftly changed into a well-pressed suit. Before he left the house, he threw Hua Yan's sleeping gown at her bedroom door. Jindu University's Medical College lecture hall was packed with students when Qin Feng entered the class, and the scene was explosive. The big-headed fat-eared Xiaolei was standing at the podium. When he saw Qin Feng, his expression turned grim as he looked at his Hua. You are 10 minutes late, Professor Qin Feng. Is this the way you teach? Do you think this a general market that you can enter arbitrarily? You're not professional enough, and you're not a good teacher. Xiaolei hated Qin Feng from the bottom of his heart after Qin Feng had blackened his name multiple times. Hence, he'd savored every single chance he had to attack and humiliate Qin Feng. Qin Feng ignored Xiaolei and walked to the podium. He stared at Xiaolei's face and chirped, "Aya, what happened to your face, Director Xiao? Did you get beaten by someone? Your face was naturally born to be hit by other people. I think it would be better if Director Xiao stayed in the house and refrained from interacting with other people." Everybody understood the behind Xiaolei's injuries. All of them laughed and rolled in the aisles, which greatly infuriated Xiaolei. He opened his mouth to chastise the students. However, he accidentally pulled his wounds, and he yelled in pain. Oomph! What a hypocrite glib talker. To be honest, Director Xiao, I prefer to settle my problems with force. Why don't we give it a try? Qin Feng offered a fake smile to Xiao Lei. His powerful aura further illuminated his presence. Xiao Lei was scared. He stepped 3 paces back and stared at Qin Feng warily. Pathetic beast. Once again, the students were thrilled by Xiao Lei's cowardly expression after Qin Feng threatened him. Xiao Lei almost cried. He yelled helplessly, "Keep quiet. Do you all want to fail your examination?" This time, the silence was complete. Xiao Lei hastily added, "I have 3 important announcements to make this time. First thing is about the 5 students' representatives. We did not decide last time due to some interruptions, so we'll be doing the selection today. Anyone who wants to volunteer themselves, rise to your feet. We only have 5 spots. Be quick if you really want to participate in this unprecedented, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity." Xiao Lei stood at the podium with his head held high as he fantasized about a scene where the 200 students pressed forward to take their places. He waited for more than 10 seconds, and nobody gave him a positive answer. Xiao Lei could not hold his face anymore. He cleared his throat and said, "Ahem, ahem. I'll personally add another 5 points to the 5 representatives' final examination." Another 10 seconds passed, but the students remained silent. Adding 5 marks to their final exam grades was interesting, but nobody took the bait because those who were elected to be the representatives had to host the representatives from the St. Medic Institute and do a Western medicine information exchange with them. Under Qin Feng's tutelage, the desire to protect and expand Chinese traditional medicine was deeply rooted in the heart of every student. Hence, they vowed not to be traitors and curry favors with the spearhead of Western medicine. The situation was getting out of Xiao Lei's control. Cold sweat began to form on his back as it felt bad being blatantly ignored by everybody. Hee. Everybody is so active. It's a tough decision to make, and I'm afraid it might take more time than I expected. Then, let's leave this for the next time and move on to the second announcement. Xiao Lei had to save himself as nobody would. He then said cheerfully, "I believe everybody will be happy to hear the second announcement. Our alumni, the famous Chinese celebrities Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku, will hold a Thanksgiving concert in our stadium as a contribution to their alma mater." What? No way. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku are going to hold a concert at Jindu University? When is it? Please give us the specific time. Have the tickets started selling? Where can we buy tickets? Oh my. I'm so nervous. Sherman and Kuku are coming to our university. What if both of them fall in love with me? Who should I choose to be my girlfriend? Swoosh. The news dropped on the students like a bombshell. Even Qin Feng stumbled on his feet and almost fell to the floor. Rao Sherman? So that girl was a graduate of Jindu University. That means I'm her teacher now? Then, I should take the opportunity to invite her to my office. She has lost sight of so much of her studies, and I must help her regain it all. Xiao Lei laughed after he had successfully invigorated the atmosphere. Haha. Calm down, everyone. The specific time and location of Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku concert will be published on our university forum. Please stay alert and do check the forum frequently to vie for the concert tickets. The students quickly pulled out their cell phones and began to scroll through the university's forum. Xiao Lei grinned from ear to ear. He cast a scornful yet provocative gaze at Qin Feng, seemingly flaunting his ability to engage the students. After the students calmed themselves, Xiao Lei proceeded to make his third announcement. Dear students, please give me your attention. A new friend has joined our medical college. She is a drop-dead gorgeous beauty. Are you all excited to meet our new friend? All of the students had yet digested the news of Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku holding a concert at Jindu University when they were yet again left in awe at the idea of another beautiful woman joining them, especially the male students in the first row. They all craned their necks trying very hard to look outside. And this time, a beautiful woman walked into the lecture hall. The beautiful woman wore a pink blouse over her nice, curvy figure and a pair of black, tight-fitting trousers around her long, delicate legs. Her breasts were huge and jiggled whenever she moved. With her hair in a ponytail, she looked fresh and youthful. However, everybody knew this beautiful woman. She was Hua Yin, one of the Jindu University's belles. Her expression was gloomy and chilly. She seemed to be in a bad mood. Hua Yin stormed to her seat without paying attention to anybody, and her actions seemed unladylike in Xiao Lei's eyes. He felt disgraced. As such, he pointed at Hua Yin and ordered her to stand outside the lecture hall as a warning for other students who would bear the same fate as Hua Yin should they did not follow his instruction. No, no, she is not the new student. Hey you, who gave you the permission to return to your seat? Get out and stand outside. Hua Yin continued to ignore Xiao Lei sticking her, but into her own seat. Her eyes flamed with anger as she stared straight at Qin Feng. She was incensed when she remembered what Qin Feng had done to her. Hey, can't you hear that I'm talking to you? Get out and stand outside. Xiao Lei's face sank when Hua Yin ignored him. Hua Yin was consumed by her anger and she exploded. Keep your mouth shut. Go back home and wash your mouth before starting your lesson. Your nasty breath is killing us. Hua Yin was a stage 4 demon cultivator. When she released her aura, she silenced all those who were near her. The students in the last row were not affected, and they laughed their heads off. A bright red flush began to take over Xiao Lei's brown skin as a storm began to form in his soul. You've decided to be defiant, and you even insulted your lecturer. Well, I'll record a serious demerit on your profile. Don't you ever hope that you will pass your final examination? Xiao Lei planned to daunt Hua Yin as a lecturer, which proved to be insignificant in front of Hua Yin. She scoffed, Kick me out from the university if you can. Don't ever try to threaten me with demerits or forbidding me from graduating. I'm not afraid of those things. Hua Yin stood straight like a pine with her chest puffed out, accentuating her gracefully rounded curves. Hua Yin and Xiao Shi were both university belles, but they were opposites in character. Hua Yin had a fiery temper just like a pepper. Xiao Shi was calm like a water. The students snickered when they saw Xiao Lei had enraged Hua Yin. You, don't be so arrogant, young lady. Since you are not afraid of getting demerits or failing, fine then, I'll take down all your demerits. Xiao Lei burned with a frenzy of rage. He took out a paper and pen and prepared to jot down Hua Yin's student ID and name. It was just before his pen touched the paper that it was slapped away by Qin Feng. What are you doing, brat? Xiao Lei offered a fierce gaze at Qin Feng. Nothing. I just want to remind you that each and every student sitting in this lecture hall is my student, and this is my class. In my class, I'm responsible for everything my students have committed, should it be bad or good. You have no power here, and even if you have the authority, it won't be you to reprimand my students. Qin Feng stood with his hands clasped behind his back in the sun. His brows locked tightly as he glared menacingly at Xiao Lei. His remarks had aroused the students except for Hua Yin. Her expression darkened as she knew Qin Feng too well. He had to be up to no good. Moreover, in my honest opinion, Hua Yin is the most outstanding student I've ever seen. She is pretty, has a nice figure, hardworking, neither conceited nor rash. The phrase goes that a man can't spin and weave at the same time. A woman can't have a pretty face and wisdom in one body. I believe this phrase firmly before meeting Hua Yin. However, the truth that I have trusted shattered after I got to know Hua Yin. I'm proud to have Hua Yin as my student. Next time, you're allowed to do what you please in my class as long as you are happy with it. Everybody's expressions slowly darkened as Qin Feng talked. All of them felt that Professor Qin Feng was being too audacious. He hugged Xiao Shi during the last lesson, and now, he indirectly proposed to Hua Yin. Was he here to fulfill his obligation as a lecturer, or was he actually tried to hook up with girls under the guise of a lecturer? Chapter 453, Transfer Student. Chapter 453, Transfer Student. Clad in a well-pressed suit, Qin Feng stood straight like a pine with his hands clasped behind his back. He sparkled under the sunshine as he purposely tilted his head 45 degrees and looked into the blue sky. He held a melancholic expression, and his profile was tough and handsome, giving people an impression that he was a prince who had fallen from the celestial realm into the mortal realm. Qin Feng loved the movie directed by Stephen Chow. He believed that even with the combination of character and life experiences of Wei Xiaobao, Tang Bohu, and Ji Zunbao, it was far from perfectly defining his life. To be honest, Qin Feng felt he outmade all three of them in acting. Last night, Qin Feng had stolen 200 flavor grass from Hua Yin. After that, Hua Yin cast away her chastity, made herself nude, and warmed him with her body just to save his life. Qin Feng was touched. However, he could not press down his desire to grab Hua Yan's large boobs. If he was given another chance, Qin Feng believed that he would still grope her breasts. If he had to term it, he hoped that it would be 1,000,000 years. Qin Feng knew he was wrong and that a hell had to be rioting in Hua Yan's heart. Hence, he planned to use his finely honed acting skills, coupled with some lover's prattle that could touch the chord of one's heart and smother the flame in Hua Yan's heart. It was not known whether or not he touched Hua Yan's heart. Nevertheless, the 200 students were moved by his words. Tears filled their eyes as the girls eagerly hoped that they were the subject of Qin Feng's proposal, while the boys wished to give Qin Feng a good beating for neglecting his duty as a lecturer and trying to hook up with a woman. "Please have a seat, Ms. Hua Yin. As long as I'm here, nobody will hurt you." Qin Feng turned to Hua Yin and looked at her earnestly. At this moment, Hua Yin wanted to puke. "Good day, sir." A clear, sweet voice sounded outside the lecture hall. Then, a woman wearing a pair of black boots, a tight-fitting leather shirt and pants walked into the lecture hall. The black, tight-fitting leather shirt and pants accentuated her perfect and flawless curvy figure. She sported a purplish bob haircut, and she had a fair skin. A pair of large sunglasses rested on her delicate face, veiling her expression from everyone. Xiao Lei's eyes glowed as soon as the woman walked into the lecture hall. She was the newcomer, and he heard the wind say that she was somebody important. Xiao Lei dare not offend her. "Haha, can I have your attention, please? This pretty is Ms. Yin Wushuang, the new transfer student that I mentioned just now." Everybody ignored Xiao Lei as they focused on Yin Wushuang, particularly her well-rounded bust. All of them felt that her breasts might pop out at any moment. Like everybody else did, Qin Feng stuck his gaze on Wushuang. However, he was not looking at her perfect figure. He was merely stunned by the face of the girl before him. Wasn't she the woman at Martial Artist Alliance? "She is one of the Dragon Door." "Qin Feng," Yin Wushuang yelled. Her eyes under the sunglasses glistened with a flick of shock. As far as she was concerned, Qin Feng had disappeared or was no longer alive on any corner of the planet. It was totally beyond her expectation that he would become a lecturer at Jindu University. "Do you know me?" Qin Feng was alarmed. How could she know me? Haha, I overheard that everybody called you that. Am I wrong? The sudden appearance of Qin Feng had unsettled Yin Wushuang, causing her to almost blow her disguise. She swiftly regained her calm composure, covered her little cherry mouth, and chuckled coquettishly. Her laughter was too enticing, and her breasts bounced up and down when she laughed. Many people shamelessly got an erection. Qin Feng stood at the podium while Yin Wushuang stood at the door to the lecture hall. Both of them exchanged glances, trying very hard to figure out the true identity of their opponent. Qin Feng knew that Yin Wushuang was a member of Dragon Door, and he knew that Yin Wushuang had no idea that he was Green Wolf. On the other hand, Yin Wushuang knew Qin Feng was a hedonistic young master from Acropolis City, and that he had no information about her. Ms. Wushuang, I warmly welcome you to join our big family. Qin Feng retracted his gaze. He offered her a warm smile and said, "Everybody, let us give Ms. Yin Wushuang a great round of applause for joining us." Clap. Clap, clap. In the next instance, a thunderous applause echoed incessantly in the lecture hall. A thought formed in Qin Feng's mind. He had to ride Yin Wushuang's coattails so as to balance the power gap between him and his enemies. Qin Feng swept across the lecture hall, and he noticed there were no seats left. He then set his eyes on Hua Yin, harumphed. You, how can you sit in the class after coming in late? Get out and stand outside. Qin Feng turned his expression faster than flipping a book and threw everybody off. Hua Yin rose to her feet. Her eyes spat fire, and she yelled at the top of her lungs, "How could you? You? Latecomers have to be punished. This is the rule that all of us agreed on last time. Don't you ever think that I will spare you just because you're pretty. Let me tell you, I, Professor Qin Feng, am not that kind of shallow person." Qin Feng put on a serious look and peered straight back at Hua Yin. The other students were dumbfounded. They felt their Professor Qin Feng was beyond help. They had never seen a person who was as shameless as Qin Feng in their entire life. "I'm not leaving out. What can you do to me?" Hua Yin huffed. She retorted with a fierce gaze. Just now, she was angry because Qin Feng had molested her the night before. However, she was angry now because Qin Feng's attitude towards her had changed as soon as Yin Wushuang entered the class. Faking his anger, Qin Feng scoffed. "Huh, what a stubborn little girl. How can you not follow your lecturer's orders? Get out of the class now." "Big brother, Professor Qin Feng, was it not you who said that Ms. Hua Yin was the most promising student you've ever met and that Ms. Hua Yin was a prodigy who had both wisdom and pretty face? How can you punish her now?" Lu Jie, who was sitting in the last row, could not resist anymore. He stood up and stepped forward to remind Qin Feng of what he had said. Qin Feng scornfully stared at Lu Jie. He said, "Did I?" Then, Qin Feng swept a glance across the students and asked the same question. "Did you all hear that I mentioned something like that before?" Seeing some of the students were pulling out their cell phones, Qin Feng quickly added, "If I really mentioned that before, I hope that everyone can step forward and point out my mistake. For those good Samaritans, I'll personally deduct 100 marks from the final examination as your reward." As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, those who were pulling out their cell phones stopped. They bowed their heads and submissively returned their cell phones to their pockets. The crowd remained silent for 15 seconds. Qin Feng nodded in satisfaction. "That's right. I'd never be prejudiced against anybody. I will admit openly what I've said and what I have not. The fatty in the last row, get out with Ms. Hua Yin and stand outside the class." Crestfallen, Lu Jie exited the lecture hall with a darkened expression. Hua Yin had enough of Qin Feng. She quickly rose to her feet and stormed out of the lecture hall. Otherwise, she might not know what she would do to Qin Feng if she remained in the class. As both of them walked out of the lecture hall, Qin Feng held a gleeful smile and walked towards Yin Wushuang. "Ms. Wushuang, please have a seat." The 200 students already knew what words would come out from Qin Feng's mouth next, judging from his wickedly lecherous smile. Yin Wushuang removed her sunglasses, exposing her delicate and flawless face. She stared indifferently at Qin Feng and sat down in Hua Yin's place. After Qin Feng returned to the podium, he offered Yin Wushuang a cheerful smile. "Wow, Ms. Wushuang is as pretty as a fairy." "You are the most hard-working and richly endowed student by nature I've ever seen. I've always heard that a woman can't have pretty face and wisdom simultaneously. However, after meeting Ms. Wushuang, only did I realize." All of the students covered their ears with their hands. Only now did they realize Professor Qin Feng's shamelessness really had no boundaries. Meanwhile, Yin Wushuang studied Qin Feng with great interest. She had run an investigation on Qin Feng's background. She knew that he was a dissolute, talented in letters and unconventional in lifestyle hedonistic young master of Qin family in Acropolis City and very good with handling women. A martial arts muggle who had suddenly break through into stage 3 inner chi in half a year and successfully claimed himself a place as a subject worthy of study by Dragon Door. Ahem, ahem. Professor Qin Feng, you should be teaching right now, but what are you doing? Xiao Lei could not listen to what Qin Feng was saying anymore. He felt he had honed his skill in acting pretentious to the finest. However, after meeting Qin Feng, Xiao Lei felt that he had met the very progenitor of acting pretentious. Wasn't this Director Xiao? When did you come? Qin Feng exhibited an expression that he just realized Xiao Lei's presence, causing Xiao Lei to almost fight with him. Shallow. Xiao Lei scoffed. Director Xiao, you can leave now if you don't have anything else to say. Don't stay here to interfere with me picking up women. Ahem. Teaching. Xiao Lei huffed, staring at Qin Feng before leaving the lecture hall, since he could not get the upper hand by staying here. He felt better after leaving the lecture hall. Ms. Wu Shuang, you have just transferred to our university, so you missed all my previous classes. I plan to have an extra class with you after this class has ended. What do you think? Qin Feng regained his gleeful expression after Xiao Lei had left. This afternoon? I'm afraid I can't. I don't have time. The students were excited after Yin Wu Shuang rejected Qin Feng directly without giving it a second thought. They felt Yin Wu Shuang had very good vision. However, in the next second, all of them were shattered. But I have plenty of time at night after school has ended. I'm not sure if Professor Qin Feng has the time. Ahem. I always revise the teaching material for the second day after I return home. I'll search for all kinds of information to demonstrate the teaching material, but since Ms. Wu Shuang has asked for it, I guess I'll have to spare my time to have an extra class with you tonight. I'll thank Professor Qin Feng first then. A flick of amusement ran across Yin Wu Shuang's eyes. Qin Feng laughed. Don't be so courteous, Ms. Wu Shuang. We're a family after all, and a family has to help each other. Qin Feng had his eyes set on Yin Wu Shuang since the first time he met her. He wasn't looking for her body, but her identity as a member of the Dragon Door. Previously at Martial Artist Town, even the Sima family, one of the 4 largest familial clans, had to be careful while treating Yin Wu Shuang. Ding! A new quest from the Hedonist sovereign system. Assist Yin Wu Shuang in investigating the prime mover behind the William family. Quest time limit, 3 months. The system will reward host Qin Feng 10,000 Hedonist points and a bottle of mutant elixir if the quest is completed. If the quest is failed, 20,000 Hedonist points will be deducted. Chapter 454, Mario's Bar. Chapter 454, Mario's Bar. Qin Feng had made himself a name, although he had only been at Jindu University a week. He had dominated first place and was several streets ahead of the runner-up as the most influential person on the campus. Qin Feng had brutally beaten Feng Ming, the little tyrant of the medical college, slapped the young master of the campus, Gao Tianyao, in public, hugged and teased Qiao Shishir in class, and saved Lin Qingyuan with silver needles. Qin Feng wanted to remain low profile. However, with his elegant appearance and scintillating talent, it was beyond his control that everybody would become inadvertently infatuated with him. The campus talked about Qin Feng all the time, and this gravely harmed the position of the other young masters. In normal circumstances, the young masters would never swallow this kind of humiliation. Regardless of how much anguish they were in, they could only suppress their rage and turn a blind eye to Qin Feng after knowing that Qin Feng had remained in one piece even after he slapped Gao Tianyao twice. In the vice-chancellor's office of Jindu University's medical college, Gao Tianyao sulked in front of a working desk. On the other side of the working desk sat a 50-year-old man with a similar face to Gao Tianyao. How many times have I told you, Tianyao? Don't come to me when we're on campus. You'll get me in trouble. The old man was Gao Hai, Gao Tianyao's second uncle. Second uncle, you're the vice-chancellor of the medical college. Who the fuck has the nerve to talk bad about you? Gao Tianyao grumbled. How dare you utter such a vulgar syllable in front of me, you freaking idiot. Seems like I have to give you some punishment. Gao Hai chided Gao Tianyao for his impoliteness. Gao Tianyao realized that he was being nasty to his second uncle. However, he was at the end of his rope. He had been nursing a grievance for a long time, and he almost exploded from the pent-up anger. As one of the members of Jindu University's 4 young masters, Gao Tianyao had never been disgraced the way Qin Feng disgraced him ever since he enrolled at Jindu University. From the 2 slaps Qin Feng gave him, he discovered that Qin Feng was blocks ahead more powerful than him. As such, Gao Tianyao was clueless as to what to do with Qin Feng. After all, engaging a martial artist in Qin Feng's league was an impossible task for him. He had no other choice but to swallow his humiliation and walk away. However, as arrogant and prideful as he was, how could he swallow that kind of insult? Hence, he went to his second uncle to seek justice. "I'm sorry, second uncle. It's my fault for being rude at you. Please don't be angry. This nephew never wanted to bother you. But second uncle, you're my only way out. Somebody bullied me. Second uncle, you must help me." Gao Tianyao pulled a sad face at Gao Hai. Gao Hai remained silent for a moment before saying, "Are you talking about Qin Feng? I've heard of him. Did he really slap your face twice in front of everybody?" Qin Feng slapping Gao Tianyao caused a great deal of discussion on campus. The news drifted to Gao Hai's ear as well. Sadly, he thought it was a hoax, so he phoned it in. Now that Gao Tianyao had approached him about the matter, it was clear that it hadn't been a hoax after all. "Second uncle, it's true. That bastard is not an ordinary person. There is no point of looking to me for help then. I don't practice martial arts, and if even you cannot defeat him in a fight, it's impossible for me to defeat him." Gao Hai sighed. "You misunderstood me, second uncle. What I want you to do is to find whatever reason and sack him. I can't do anything to him when we're on campus. However, once he is outside, I'll have my way of dealing with him." Gao Tianyao proposed his suggestion. Gao Hai's brows frowned deeply as his expression turned serious. After a good while, Gao Hai sighed. "Hi, nephew. Why do you have to make things difficult for me? I'm pretty sure you know that the panel of representatives from the St. Medic Institute will be arriving at our university in no less than 10 days. The higher-ups are all highly strung, and I would alarm them if I suddenly fired a lecturer at this moment. Things will get ugly if something goes wrong. I hope you understand my situation, nephew." Seeing that his second uncle had made his point and rejected him, Gao Tianyao's heart sank. He yelled, "But I cannot swallow the ignominy, second uncle. That fucking bastard slapped my face twice in front of all the medical students in the lecture hall. If I can't get rid of him, where can I show my face on Jindu University campus anymore?" Gao Tianyao was anxious. This time, Gao Hai thought for a long period of time, and he still sighed and shook his head. "Tianyao, tolerate it for another half-month. After the representatives from the St. Medic Institute have returned to America, I will definitely fire Qin Feng. Now is not the perfect time. We'd get into trouble." Since his second uncle had rejected his suggestion, Gao Tianyao was only left with rage. "Humph! You're lucky this time, you bastard. Qin Feng, the day when the exchange study is over will be the day you leave Jindu University." "Chancellor Gao, were you looking for me?" It was not long after Gao Tianyao left. Chang Xian went into Gao Hai's office. She wore her usual uniform and a pair of black pantyhose. Gao Hai ogled her long, straight legs and her big breasts until his eyes almost popped out. "Hee. Welcome, welcome. Please have a seat, Director Chang." Gao Hai greeted Chang Xian with a smile. He even made her tea as if she was the vice-chancellor. "Chancellor Gao, please get to the point straight. I still have many things to do," Chang Xian said indifferently. Gao Hai had his eyes set on Chang Xian, and he had made tons of attempts to invite Chang Xian to dinner, but Chang Xian always rejected his invitation. However, he was extremely clingy, and now he would try to invite Chang Xian on a date again. The day when the representatives from St. Medic Institute is coming near, and as members of the medical college ourselves, we have to do justice to our identity. I want to invite you to dinner tonight so that we can discuss the details and problems we might face upon their arrival. What are your thoughts, Director Chang?" Gao Hai had miscounted how many times had Chang Xian rejected him. He was worried Chang Xian would decline his invitation again. Chang Xian pondered Gao Hai's suggestion. As she was about to say no to his invitation, Gao Hai cut her short and added, I can discuss this matter with Director Chang over dinner because Director Chang is very busy during the daytime. The management of the medical college is looking forward to this exchange study. As a member of the medical college, I hope that Director Chang could coordinate with my work and put a little more effort in glorifying the medical college. Gao Hai was already over 50 years old, and he had developed his own set of skills while climbing all the way up to be the vice-chancellor of the medical college. Within a few sentences, he'd covered the fact that he was trying to pick up Chang Xian with the idea of winning honor for the medical college, leaving Chang Xian no excuses to reject him. Has Chancellor Gao booked the restaurant? Chang Xian agreed at last. Stunned, Gao Hai yelled, Yes, of course, yes. Let's go now, Director Chang. Great. Chang Xian walked in the front while Gao Hai trailed behind her. While savoring Chang Xian's smoking, sexy figure and her voluptuous butt, he fantasized about pushing her down on a bed and worked hard on top of her. Gao Hai led Chang Xian to his Volkswagen CC, and Chang Xian sat in the back. Chang Xian remained in silence throughout the journey. She peered through the window to the outside with her glassy eyes locked in her own thoughts. We've arrived, Director Chang. Gao Hai's voice snapped Chang Xian out of her thoughts, and she did not know that they had arrived at the Mario's bar. This is the restaurant that you booked, Chancellor Gao? Chang Xian's brows locked slightly as she looked warily at Gao Hai. Gao Hai screwed his head and offered a fatuous smile. Hee. I thought you would love this kind of ambience, Director Chang. Why don't we have a seat inside? I've booked a private room, and it's pretty quiet. We'll have some food while we discuss matters. Mario's bar was the largest chain of bars in Jindu. It was also the holy ground for youngsters to get laid. Even though she had not personally come to Mario's bar before, she knew what kind of place was this. And now, Gao Hai's intention was completely laid bare to Chang Xian. He had booked a private room, and it was obvious that he was not there for the work, but up to something bad. Seeing that Chang Xian was soon to pull her out, Gao Hai hastily went forward and pushed her inside. Let's go in, Director Chang. It's filled with people, and there is nothing to be afraid of. Chang Xian felt that with so many people inside Mario's bar, Gao Hai would not dare do anything to her. Moreover, Chang Xian was in a constant bad mood recently due to Qin Feng and Hua Yin. Her heart tingled with pent-up frustration. Looking at the Mario's bar, Chang Xian felt that she wanted to release her feelings and that she might feel better afterward. Fine then. Chancellor Gao, please lead the way. Chang Xian stepped aside and avoided Gao Hai. She went into Mario's bar with Gao Hai. Gao Hai was delighted to jump since it was out of his expectation that Chang Xian would agree to enter Mario's bar. With a smug expression, he led Chang Xian into the bar. As they entered the bar, a waitress in exposing attire came forward and welcomed them. She led them through the noisy crowd until they arrived at the private rooms in the innermost of the compound. They went into private room number 303. Mr. Gao, here is your room. May I prepare the food and drinks now, or later? Yes, now. Gao Hai yelled excitedly. Accepting the order, the waitress then retreated to do her duty and left Gao Hai and Chang Xian in the private room. It was a tiny private room, but it was enough for 2 people. The room had a low lighting, and it was only decorated with a row couch, a small coffee table, and a karaoke system. It looked like a KTV room. Gao Hai's mind went wild, and his heart raced when he saw the T-shaped couch. His brain played a scene where Chang Xian was drunk, and he did her on the couch. Gao Hai sat beside Chang Xian and began to curry favor with her. Since we're not in the working compound, let's drop our courteousness. I'll call you Xian, and you just call me Big Brother Hai. Chang Xian stayed vigilant and maintained a space worth a person with Gao Hai. She did not reply to him. Gao Hai blabbered on and on, praising Chang Xian as a capable woman with the features of a heavenly maiden. His gaze was glued to Chang Xian's legs, and his heart pumped faster and faster at the sight. Mario's bar was the largest chain store bar in Jindu. It was also the holy ground for the youngster to get laid. Even though she had not personally came to Mario's bar before, but she knew what kind of place was this. And now Gao Hai's intention had completely laid bare in front of Chang Xian. He had booked a private room, and it came to light that he was not here for the work, but up to something bad. Let's go in, Director Chang. It's filled with people here, and there is nothing to be afraid of. Seeing that Chang Xian was soon to pull her out, Gao Hai hastily went forward and pushed her inside. Chang Xian felt with so many people inside Mario's bar, Gao Hai would not dare to do anything to her. Moreover, Chang Xian was in constant bad mood recently due to Qin Feng and Hua Yin. Her heart was tingling with pent-up frustration. Looking at the Mario's bar, Chang Xian felt want to release herself and that she might feel better afterward. Fine then. Chancellor Gao, please lead the way. Chang Xian stepped aside and avoided Gao Hai. She went into Mario's bar with Gao Hai. Chapter 455. You're the best, Ms. Wu Shuang. Bin Bin. Qin Feng waited in his office looking forward to Yin Wu Shuang's arrival. As he expected, Yin Wu Shuang arrived at his office soon after. She invited Qin Feng to have their lesson at Mario's bar. Yin Wu Shuang stopped her Audi Q7 outside of Mario's bar. After both of them alighted from the car, Qin Feng tilted his head and peered at Mario's bar, which was filled with debauchery activities. He lamented, I haven't been to this kind of place for a long time. To think that I was once known as the Prince of Bars when I was younger. What are you looking at, Professor Qin Feng? Yin Wu Shuang wrapped her arms around Qin Feng's arm and offered him a warm smile. In martial artist town, Yin Wu Shuang always held an indifferent expression, standing at a position far above the masses. It was out of Qin Feng's imagination that her attitude towards him would change so drastically once she became his transfer student. Is she trying to seduce me? Hee. Nothing. Qin Feng screwed his head and smiled, masquerading as a scholarly mentor and beneficial friend. Qin Feng felt as a capable person and somebody with prestige. Yin Wu Shuang favored a cultured and intelligent man more, while a hedonistic young master was somebody she would loathe and despise the most. Since Qin Feng decided to ride her coattails, he had to show his most perfect side to Yin Wu Shuang. You should be used to coming to this kind of place, right? Professor Qin Feng. Yin Wu Shuang deliberately pressed her body against his arm and rubbed. Yin Wu Shuang knew who Qin Feng was after she had studied him thoroughly. She berated his fakeness inwardly. I apologize for disappointing you, Ms. Wu Shuang. This is the first time I've ever come to such place. Qin Feng resignedly shook his head and heaved. I understand that in this era of globalization, men and women of our age are impetuous. Bad boys get all the girls while nice guys finish last. In spite of how hard I tried to turn myself into a bad guy, I just can't do it. Wu Shuang, I am a near-extinct scholarly man who doesn't drink, smoke, or indulge in debauchery. You must be very disappointed, Qin Feng said with an extremely saddened expression. He had made every one of his expressions as convincing as possible. This was the first time Yin Wu Shuang experienced Qin Feng's shamelessness. She was so sickened that she almost left. Hee. So Professor Qin Feng is so adorable. I thought you were a hedonistic young master the first time I saw you. Yin Wu Shuang teased Qin Feng. Qin Feng's heart skipped a beat, but he regained his composure soon after. To be honest, Ms. Wu Shuang, those hedonistic young masters are a group of maggots that I despise the most. Relying on their powerful background, they always toy with other people without any respect and contribute nothing good to the society. I'm certainly different from them. Yin Wu Shuang took the initiative to invite Qin Feng on a date because she wanted to test his strength. Qin Feng had mysteriously turned himself from a muggle into a powerful martial artist. No one in the martial world had ever achieved such a feat. Yin Wu Shuang was curious, hence the date tonight. After she had completed her investigation of Qin Feng, she prepared to apply to the Dragon Door and had the Dragon Door dispa a special investigation team to study Qin Feng. However, before she could test Qin Feng's strength, She had to first experience his deep and profound skill in acting base and shamelessness. Hee hee. You're right, Professor Qin Feng. It would serve them right if thunder struck them, Yin Wuxuang said as she smiled playfully. Qin Feng forced himself not to see Yin Wuxuang's trembling sleeve due to her anger. He continued to speak seriously. Ahem. It would be too severe for them to be punished by thunder. Although they're despicable, they should not be killed. In fact, we should inspire them, guide them, and lead them to the rightful path. We should turn them into thankful people who can contribute to the community. Qin Feng said every one of his sentences slow and steady with a deep voice. He tried to feign the air of a scholar. Yin Wuxuang already knew Qin Feng was a hedonistic young master. Won't he feel tired from this act? Yin Wuxuang asked herself. As they entered the bar, the waitress that welcomed Chang Xian and Gao Hai stepped forward. Handsome and beautiful, have you guys booked a room? Or would you guys prefer a random seat? Before Yin Wuxuang could answer the waitress, Qin Feng covered his eyes with his hands, shook his head and said, "Oh my sweet lord, the moral degeneration of the world is getting worse day by day. How can a woman like you appear in such revealing clothes in a public place? What if your parents, your aunts, or your uncles see you? What will they think? It's so embarrassing. Go away. Your assistance is not required." Yin Wuxuang and the waitress were stunned, especially the waitress. She looked at Qin Feng like looking at an alien. Psycho. The waitress rolled her eyes at Qin Feng and turned away. Yin Wuxuang's eyes were ablaze. She almost went crazy because of Qin Feng. Yin Wuxuang had already familiarized herself with the compound of the Mario's bar. She went to the private room area without any guidance. She arrived at private room 305 and went in after she hailed the waiter outside the room. Room 305 was a small private room as well, and the facilities were similar to room 303. After sweeping a gaze around the private room, Qin Feng snuggled down on a couch. Yin Wuxuang talked with the waiter for a short while before sending him away to do her bidding. "Are you satisfied with the room, Professor Qin Feng? Is it cozy enough?" After she shut the door, Yin Wuxuang then unzipped her leather shirt, freeing her jiggly, large breasts from restraint. Underneath her black leather shirt was a white sleeveless garment. Qin Feng commanded himself not to look at Yin Wuxuang's body, but the urge was unbearable. His desire went on a rampage, and he distorted his two large eyes into two fine lines and looked at Yin Wuxuang's body out from the corner of his eyes. Fine. Just the light setting is too dim, and it feels like a ghost mansion," Qin Feng said as he swallowed hard. "Professor Qin Feng, what's your opinion of my body?" asked Yin Wuxuang as she walked towards Qin Feng and shoved her breasts towards him. Qin Feng perfunctorily raised his head and took a peek. As he exclaimed inwardly how large Yin Wuxuang boobs were compared to Hua Yin, he held an expressionless face and answered her nonchalantly, "Not bad. Ms. Wuxuang, please zip up your shirt. You might see a cold later." Qin Feng had to maintain his nerdy personality. He admonished and commanded himself not to blow his disguise even if Yin Wuxuang appeared nude before him. "The air conditioner is on, Professor Qin Feng. I don't feel cold in the slightest. Let me help you remove your jacket." Yin Wuxuang sat beside Qin Feng and began to undress him. Qin Feng quickly turned his body aside. As he moved aside, his eyes glowed. He realized Yin Wuxuang had utilized her inner qi and pointed it towards the vital point of his stomach. Qin Feng was stunned by her sudden hostility. What is she doing? Was she trying to harm me? My stomach hurts, Ms. Wuxuang. Qin Feng had donned his sacred azure battle armor and neutralized Yin Wuxuang's attack. Qin Feng was now playing a show for Yin Wuxuang to find out what was she up to. Raising her brows, Yin Wuxuang peered at Qin Feng with questions in her mind. She had aimed for his life. The reason behind the relentless attack was that she wanted to force Qin Feng to use his full strength to parry her attack. She never imagined that Qin Feng would not avoid nor fight back. "Are you all right?" Yin Wuxuang finally regained her senses. Her eyes held a flicker of anxiety in them. My stomach hurts, and I don't know why. Qin Feng curled up and clued his stomach with his hands while grimacing in pain. Yin Wu Shuang was not convinced, her mind still filled with doubt. Be that as it may, she still went forward to check his condition. She meticulously scanned his body. She did not find anything wrong with him. Locking her brows, Yin Wu Shuang muttered, "It's strange. How come you're all right?" "Ah, Ms. Wu Shuang hoped that I would have a mishap." Qin Feng stared at Yin Wu Shuang in disbelief. "No, it's not. How could I hope that Professor Qin Feng is not all right? I'm just nervous, so I said the wrong thing. Arg. The pain is killing me. Ms. Wu Shuang, can you help me to rub the pain away?" Qin Feng was in so much pain that the vein on his forehead bulged. Yin Wushuang could not see that Qin Feng was actually faking his pain. She thought she had really hurt him. Wheels within wheels, the relationship between Yin Wushuang and Qin Feng was complex and sophisticated, and it was hard to explain in 2 or 3 words. All in all, Yin Wushuang did not want to kill Qin Feng. Since she hurt Qin Feng, she felt sorry for him. "Are you feeling any better?" Yin Wushuang extended her right hand, put it on Qin Feng's stomach, and began to massage him. "Ah, that's right. That is the right point." Qin Feng suddenly grabbed Yin Wushuang's hand and moved it toward the side a little bit. The sensation of her small hand being grabbed by a large hand stunned her. She remained zoned out for a brief moment before she found her senses. "Here? Okay then. You can release my hand now. I can do this on my own," Yin Wushuang said calmly. Suddenly, Qin Feng raised his brows and yelped in pain again. "Arg. Pain. It's so painful. It is much more painful than the last time. Quick, move your hand inside. Otherwise, it won't do me any good." Yin Wushuang's hand was once again caught by Qin Feng. He placed her hand into his shirt so that there was 0 distance between her skin and his. Yin Wushuang's hand was tender, smooth and cold. When her hand touched his stomach, he felt so great that he moaned. Yes, yes. The pain is fading. Ms. Wushuang, you're the best." Qin Feng gave Yin Wushuang a lot of praise to smother her anger. He grabbed tightly to Yin Wushuang's hand and said, "Please, help me. Help me cure my pain, Ms. Wushuang. Your massage skills are so good. I bet you learned it from somewhere, right?" Yin Wushuang's mind was a mess. This was the first time she had touched a man's stomach. It was a strange feeling to her, and it jumbled her thoughts. Qin Feng wasn't satisfied. As he looked at between his legs, he began to move Yin Wushuang's hand downward. "Aya, my stomach is not in pain anymore. Now it's my legs. Ms. Wushuang, you have to help me rub my legs as well." Chapter 456, Shameless Weasel. Chapter 456, Shameless Weasel. Bin Bin. In private room 303 of the Mario's bar, Gao Hai and Chang Xian stayed for half an hour. Chang Xian just had a steak and a few mouthfuls of red wine, which caused her cheeks to flush red. "Chancellor Gao, now that we have finished our meal, should we get to the main point of tonight?" Chang Xian felt a little bit dizzy. She wanted to get her job done quickly and return home to rest. Gao Hai had been purposely delaying Hua Yin. He smiled lecherously as he ogled Hua Yan's thighs. Xian. Did we not agree that since we're outside of the university, I'll call you Xian and you'll call me Big Brother Hai? Let's drop our courteousness. Chancellor Gao, quickly get down to the business. It's just an appellation. It won't change anything, Chang Xian replied indifferently. She knew Gao Hai had been staring at her thighs, and his lecherous gaze sickened her. Haha, Xian, you're such a stubborn girl. You won't yield to anybody once you've decided to do something? Oh well, since we've finished our meal, let's get straight to the matter about receiving the representatives from the St. Medic Institute. Chang Xian straightened her body when she saw Gao Hai had finally returned to the subject of the night, causing Gao Hai to drool at her large boobs. Suddenly, he shoved his hand forward and pushed a glass of red wine in front of Chang Xian. Swoosh! The wine tipped over and spilled all over Chang Xian's blouse. Frightened, Chang Xian quickly rose to her feet as the wine streamed down her blouse to her black pantyhose. The red wine dampened the pantyhose and molded them around on Chang Xian's thighs. Chang Xian locked her well-defined brows uncomfortably. I apologize for my clumsiness. A glisten of craftiness flickered through Gao Hai's eyes as his evil scheme succeeded. Immediately, he pulled out a few paper towels and ran to Chang Xian's side. He extended his hand to wipe the wine off Chang Xian's thigh. Xian, I hope you won't take any offense at my ineptness. It's fine. I'll handle it myself. Chang Xian said coldly. She moved a few steps back to avoid Gao Hai's filthy, grubby claws. She grabbed a bag of tissue paper and went into the restroom. As soon as Chang Xian left, Gao Hai instantly dropped his innocent and kind expression for a wickedly sardonic smile. He chewed his nose to take a few deep sniffs at Chang Xian's fragrance that lingered in the room. Haha, run all you can, bye. I've had enough of your double-distilled pure and noble conduct. I must release the beast within you tonight on the couch and turn you into a sex-crazed slut. Gao Hai blabbered to himself on and on while keeping an eye on Chang Xian, who was in the restroom as he walked toward her place. He pulled out a packet of powder from his pocket and poured it into Chang Xian's water cup. Haha, you'll become my toy tonight after you drink the water, bye. Gao Hai smiled wickedly as he shook the water cup in his hand to thoroughly mix the powder in water. The water turned clear as crystal. Nobody would be able to notice something was added into the water cup. Click. Chang Xian walked out of the restroom. She had removed her black pantyhose and let her snow-white, straight, and long legs free. Water droplets could be seen dripping from her legs as she washed off the wine stains on her thighs with water. Chang Xian's blouse was short, reaching only above her knees. As such, even though Gao Hai was far from her, he could see the fragrance drifting from beneath her blouse. Is everything fine, Xian? I'm too clumsy. Please forgive me. Gao Hai extended a warm smile as he walked toward her. He extended his arm across Chang Xian's waist. Nauseated by Gao Hai's action, Chang Xian moved sideways to avoid Gao Hai as she returned to her seat. Her blatant refusal did not earn any rage from Gao Hai. Holding his smiling face, Gao Hai returned to Chang Xian's side. From time to time, he peeked at Chang Xian's thighs through his thick lenses, anxiously wishing he could throw himself at her thighs and lick them. Chancellor Gao, the hour is late, and I'm tired. Guess we have to leave the matter for next time. I'm going to leave first. How is there any possibility that Chang Xian still wanted to stay here after that incident? The reason behind her agreeing to Gao Hai's suggestion to come to Mario's bar was because she was troubled by the revelation of Hua Yin and Qin Feng's relationship. After they came to the bar, Chang Xian discovered Gao Hai's evil intentions. Hence, she wanted to leave now. Please don't be angry with me, Xian. I didn't do it on purpose. Why do you have to leave now? You hurt me so much. Gao Hai pretended to be sad and remorse for his wrongdoing. You think too much, Chancellor Gao. I'm not angry. I'm just very tired, Chang Xian replied emotionlessly. Then, why do you have to leave so soon? Were we not going to discuss the details and problems we might face upon receiving the representatives? We're just getting started now, and you're already leaving. Let's discuss it next time. It's too late now, and I don't feel like discussing any important business tonight. Chang Xian stood her ground firmly. She was that kind of girl who would not yield or pander to other people once she made a decision. Gao Hai knew her very well, and he knew that he would damage his reputation in Chang Xian's eyes if he continued to press her. Hence, he wiped a warm smile, rose to his feet, get 2 cups of wine in his hand, and said patiently, "Okay. Then, let us leave the matter about the representatives for next time." However, Big Brother Hai has asked for forgiveness from Xian. You must accept my apology and finish the wine. Otherwise, my conscience might smite me, and I am certain that I won't sleep tight tonight. I'm sorry, Chancellor Gao, but I really can't hold my liquor. It was totally expected by Gao Hai that Xian would reject his toast. He wasn't affected in the slightest. Instead, he continued to hold his smile while he exchanged the wine glass in his hand with the water cup. Then, please use the water as a replacement. Since Gao Hai had said it like that, Xian felt she could not reject him anymore. Plus, she was thirsty. Chancellor Gao, please don't take the matter just now to heart. It's just a small accident, and I don't mind it at all. Xian accepted the water up and took a sip. Gao Hai threw his head to the back and guzzled down the amber-colored solution. Then, he looked at Xian with a crooked smile. As he saw Xian had finished the cup of water, his sinister smile broadened. Haha, this Big Brother Hai felt better now. Xian felt Gao Hai had changed. There was a lecherous intent behind his smile, and it sickened Xian. I'm leaving first. Why the hurry, Xian? Even if you're leaving, I should be the gentleman and send you off. Your Big Brother Hai will be worried about you if you go home alone by yourself. Gao Hai outflanked Xian and blocked the only exit with his plump figure. Holding a grin, he ran his gaze between Xian's boobs and her legs. Please behave yourself, Chancellor Gao. Please don't look at me with those kinds of eyes. Xian could not hold her anger anymore and exploded. However, Gao Hai wasn't affected in the slightest. Not only did he not retracted his gaze, the lecherous smile on his face grew. Why can't I look at you since you're such a beauty, Xian? Didn't you know that I always peeked at you during school hours, especially when you wear your uniform? It's too sexy. You're just as sexy as the adult ladylike office woman. You've drunk too much, Chancellor Gao. Do you have any idea what you are saying right now? Xian's expression turned chilly. She gripped her purse tightly, and she was prepared to smack Gao Hai with her purse if he suddenly pounced on her. Gao Hai ignored Xian's rage and continued to speak. Your body is too hot. When you're in your blouse, your butt jiggles whenever you move. The sight is so great that my crow bulges the moment I see it. And your large boobs? TSK, TSK, TSK. It feels like it would explode at any moment. Quick, let your Big Brother Hai see how large your boobs are. Also, I've been fantasizing the viewing under your blouse. What's the color of your underwear today? Let me have a look. Bang! Unable to withstand anymore, Xian was so angry that every hair on her body stood up. She raised her purse and shoved it right at Gao Hai's face. Xian had heard that men were filthy, but she never imagined they would be this corrupted to heart. A man like Gao Hai was no different from a beast. The purse knocked Gao Hai's glasses off his face, and the zipper injured the corner of Gao Hai's eyes. He screamed in pain. Fuck. Don't act so pure in front of me, you bai. I'll show you what I'm made of tonight. Gao Hai's eyes bulged and dripped in blood. His grimacing expression was scary. Frightened, Xian covered her breasts and recoiled. She just moved for 2 steps, and she suddenly went limp. She fell to the floor and could not muster the strength to stand up. Haha. Save your energy, Xian. I've put an aphrodisiac in your water which I purposely asked people to bring back for me from Thailand. Please enjoy the night. I'm very vigorous. Gao Hai had an erection the moment he saw Xian's reddened skin and her feeble outlook. After he put on his glasses which he found on the floor, he walked towards Xian wickedly. Xian was nervous. She wanted to scream for help, but unfortunately, the powder had rendered her powerless. Don't come over here. I'll call the police. Xian mustered up all her strength to warn Gao Hai, but it had little to no effect on him. Call the police? How dare you? Ah, I should take a video of us having sex. If you call the police, I'll expose the video on Jindu University's forum. I want to let everybody know how filthy and dirty Professor Chang Xian is behind her pure and noble facade. Shameless. Tears began to form in her eyes. Haha, I'm shameless. In this society, you can't make any progress if you're not shameless enough. Gao Hai had prepared himself since he decided to get on Chang Xian. Hence, he did not waver at any of the warnings or threatening words Chang Xian threw at him. He began to undo his belt. Please stop struggling, Xian. Why don't you enjoy it? I assure you that if you serve me well tonight, I promise you a bright future regardless of if you work in the medical college or the affiliated hospital. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.